What is up, everybody? Welcome to Florida. Oh man, that's a bad start. Welcome to Florida Derby Day live stream with the racing dudes. Boy, maybe I should have let Ricky host this thing, huh? Welcome everybody who's watching. We've got a bunch of you logging in, and man, this is exciting. We just had Churn and Burn go wire to wire in the Pan American. I think a lot of people on the stream had that horse, so we're excited. Listen, we're going to start hot and heavy. We have 10 minutes till the late pick four. We're going to do a draft late pick four, right to start the show, right to get into it so we can get it done and over with. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. So that's how we're going to structure it. We'll go around the five of us. Each of us have 2 passes and 2 plays. So that's how we will get to our 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. Samich, you are going to lead us off because it's always your idea how we structure them. Here we go, race 11. Who do you want, or are you going to pass?
I will take the 8 Step Dancer.
Okay, the 8. That's also my top pick as well. Ricky.
I'll take Annex.
Annex. All right, Annex is the 6. Those are the 2 I was gonna cover, so I will use one of my passes here. Papa Dude, do you want to pass or play?
Well, those were my top 2. So should I pass?
I would pass. Yep.
I like it. Yeah, I like the 8 and the 6 the best. So okay. I'll pass.
Okay, we'll pass and then we'll leave it to Vinny. He has to play, right? Because we have to have 3. So Vinny, who do you want?
I'll take the 1 then.
The 1.
Good pick, Vinny. Good pick.
The 8 and the 6 were my other were my top 2.
I was 8-6-1.
Exactly.
One other horse I thought I had a shot was a 2.
Okay, well, we got the 1. So sorry, Samich. We're not piss on your 2. Hope it loses. All right. Well, I don't know. Tournament play, maybe we hope we root the 2 wins. So we'll get to that in a second, I promise. All right. We'll go on to the second leg now. It's the Gulfstream Park Oaks. Once again, Samich, we'll start it off with you.
I'm going to pass.
Okay. Ricky?
I'm going to pass also.
So, you leave it to us 3 now. Thanks a lot, jackasses. All right.
Vinny, you're in a bad spot there, you know.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just going to.
I'm going to go with the 6 Millie Philly. Papa Dude.
I'll go with the 1.
1 Con
Lima, I believe it. Yep, I'll go with the 1.
Okay, Vinny.
I'm going to go with the 2 because the 1 and the 6 are the only 2 horses I would use in this leg.
I like the spice of the 2, though. I like leaving out the 3 there.
So we are going against the favorite in leg 2, the Gulfstream Park Oaks. The good news is the last time they had a Kentucky Oaks prep race at Gulfstream Park, the favorite wasn't anywhere close, and Hull Bodemeister won at like $3 billion to 1. So
what could go wrong?
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. All right, on to race 13, Samich.
Oh, man. I'm going to use the 1, Warlike Goddess.
The 1, Warlike Goddess. Ricky.
I'm going to go with the 7, Delta's Kingdom.
Oh, Ricky, I hate that horse. 7,
I hate that horse too.
Kingdom. Gosh. Now it's a problem for me because my two top picks are the 5 and the 9. We can only use 1.
Those were my 2 too, but I thought that the 5 and the 9 get covered, and I wanted the 1 in the ticket.
Yeah, well, all-time backfire.
Whoops.
I'll pass. I'll use my pass. Papa Dude.
I wish you hadn't done that.
Well, you can.
Do you want me to go ahead and toss in the favorite?
Well, you can pass.
Or toss in the favorite, or you guys hate that horse?
I like that horse.
Everybody likes that horse, I think.
You
Yep.
like? Okay, I'll go the 8. I'll go the 8.
The 9. You mean the 9?
Is it the 9? Always shopping. Is that,
Yeah,
is that
that's
the
the
one?
9. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I wrote it down wrong. Okay.
Okay. With the 9. All right. So 179 in that leg. All right. Samich,
I'm a pass.
we are passing on the Florida Derby. Okay.
If I have to. I already used to.
Yeah, so do I. So do I.
Oh, I haven't used 2. I have to do it. So it's us 3. We have to finish it off. I got to go with the 9. I'm going to go the 9. Collaborate. Papa Dude. Papa Dude.
Well, I don't see any way. Greatest Honor loses, but I hate to keep picking up favorites every time. You
Well,
know,
if you think that horse is going to win, just pick it.
Vinny,
That's fine.
you got Vinny, you got a good one going.
I got a long
Vinny, you
shot.
got a good one going here.
He's got a long shot.
Vinny's hungry.
You think you guys think I ought to throw that 7 in there?
Yeah, because 7
Or you
Vinny's
guys
not
wanna try
going
to
to,
beat
so I think you should.
Use the juice. Use that Baffert juice.
I think we got to. Don't you guys? We got to throw that horse in there, right?
I don't
Yeah,
hate
I'll go the 7. I'll go
Okay.
the 7. You
it.
do?
Vinny?
You know who I'm using. Soup and sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
give
Vinny will use soup and sandwich the 8. So we'll go 7, 8,
What number
9.
was that, Vinny?
The 8.
Okay,
Did you have the 8?
I like
Papa
that
Dude?
too. I really
Okay.
did.
Okay.
Well,
Well.
I had him written down.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
a little
So
worried about Spielberg, though. Any of you guys worried about Spielberg?
yeah.
Yeah, but
We don't have him in there.
That's
No.
fine. Fine.
for the record, Aaron
Are-
told me
are-
he didn't like the 7. Aaron said he didn't like Delta's Kingdom, and I believe Mike did also. But when someone used soup and sandwich, everyone had crickets. Everyone was quiet. So
I got soup and sandwich. I had greatest honor. So
I did. Jay. Soup and sandwich is my top pick today. He's my
Well,
best
that's
bet.
a little
He's my best
aggressive.
bet today.
That's a touch aggressive.
wait on the entire card.
Well,
soup and sandwich is
hey.
your best horse.
Yep. Taking a shot.
Well, there's that.
I don't have. Yeah, there's just nothing I can say to that. So
All right,
He runs
Aaron,
well.
you throwing up the pick 4?
Yep. Look at this. Look at the bottom of your screen there, Samich.
Love it.
Yeah. All right. So 50 cent pick 4, starting at race 11. It's 168, 126, 179, 789. That is the 50 cent pick 4 for the last 4 races on Florida Derby card. All right. Let's get into it. There you go, Jason. Let's get it. I agree. I think I like that. I like that. If Baffert beats us, listen, if he beats us, we can all get mad and call him names and it'll be fun. So
Yes.
Pocket Headies, he doesn't like it. We got Magic. Magic is joined too. Sorry, too late for you.
That's okay. You pretty much hit all the ones I wanted to use. I was looking at it, so it looks good.
I was
How you
going to say,
boys
is there
doing?
anyone you would have thrown on if you were here?
Let me take a look back at the. Can you put? Thanks. That's easier for me. I probably would have gone with Sorrel over Delta's Kingdom. Was there a lot of? I literally did. Was there discussion about that? Was there a fight about it?
Not really a fight.
no one really pushed back. I'll be the first to admit no one loved it, but no one really sat here and said that's terrible.
It's not as bad as if someone used Sadler's Joy.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, we got 2 minutes to race 11 here. Aaron, you want to jump into that one?
Yeah, let's do it. 2 minutes to race 11 here. We have there's 2 minutes, but they're still in the paddock, so I think we may be on Gulfstream time all of a sudden.
They're back to normal Gulfstream time like last time.
Yeah.
That total was delayed, so they must have pushed it back a little bit.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. We still need to get into it and start to break down the race. Let's talk about it here. Right now, you have the 4-5 favoritism on number 6, Annex for Bill Mott. This horse is 2 for 2, a very impressive maiden special weight winner. And then last time out, picks up a stakes race victory by a head over this track. God, he's on the feed right now, guys. That is a gorgeous racehorse. Samich, I'll kick it to you first. Kind of keep it in order here. Thoughts on Annex? Are we going to play him hard? Or are we going to try to beat him here?
I mean, I think you have to respect him. I think it's clearly your most likely winner in the race. The last race is a little funky, though. If you look at that in race running line, Annex was back 25 lengths after a half mile. You had a 22:44 opening fractions. So the whole race kind of played a little bit odd. So I don't want to put too much. I just don't want to put too much into that race because of how it played out early. Because of that, I'm going to spread a little bit, use a couple other horses. I like the 6 and the 8. Those are the 2 horses that I use in most of my multi-leg wagers. But I think you got to respect the 1 and the 2 too. And I think the 2 at 19-1 is kind of getting disrespected. If you look at that last race, Fighting Force was 7-1 in that race against Annex last time. He wants to be close to the lead. He wants to be close to the lead here. And so the fact that he was 20 lengths back, I think really put him out of his game. And so I'm expecting a better run from the 2 here. But I do think the 6 is a legit favorite. I wouldn't touch it at 4-5 though.
Yeah, 4-5 a little bit short for me as well. Ricky, what do you think? Would you be willing to take the 4-5 on Annex? I'm talking about single race wagers here, or would you rather try to go elsewhere?
No, I'm kind of with Samich. I put the 2 in second. So based on odds wise, I would definitely take a shot with the 2. I think what'd you say, Samich? Like 18-1 at this point?
19.
Yeah, we're 19-1 on the board.
Yeah, I don't think that horse is better than the 6, but I don't think that horse should be 19-1. So if we're going single race wagers, I would throw $5-10 and see what I can get.
Magic, I'll kick it to you real quick. Same question. I mean, Annex 4-5. This horse obviously looked good in the last 2 races, but is it too short here?
Oh, absolutely. I think because he doesn't have anything that really makes you say he is that much better than what he's going to be facing in here. If you had horses that were all just stepping up off of maiden wins, then I could say go for it. But I agree with Samich. I think it's an impossible play at 4-5. We had him on our tickets for the Magic Mike show, but we also were trying to use others, hoping that if we can catch value if he doesn't win, because he's not a clear standout, like 4-5 suggests, we can get some value. Probably value for me, there really isn't a whole lot. I did use the 9 Fulmini. He was the last horse on my ticket because I like Paco Lopez jumping aboard. I really hope that this trainer doesn't win, but the 9 was 15-1 in the morning line. He's 35-1. He's the longest shot. And I think with Paco and with this horse's recent form, speed's been holding pretty well on the turf that I've been watching. So it's a good shot. I have a question for the guys who like the 2 horse. I asked Mike about it, so I'll ask Ricky. That's a horse that Coolmore bought for $400,000, and they got rid of him after he finished a pretty good 4th in 2 stakes races, and they did not get $400,000 or anything close to that for him. So does that concern either? Well, I know it's Samich, so Ricky, does that concern you at all?
So Aaron and I talked about this race, I believe, yesterday. And Annex, coming out of the same race, Annex completely missed the break, was 22 lengths, and I was able to pass horses. I don't think Annex would have the luxury of doing that again. And I don't know, I'm not sure how good Annex is, right? So I'm kind of looking at Annex as very vulnerable. I do believe he's the most likely winner. But I kind of saw that race with Fighting Force, and there was a move made just a little too early. And I'm not sure if that move, if it's delayed a little bit, like a legitimate maybe another 5-10 seconds, if we have a different result. After watching that race, and the race was extremely screwed up. Like Annex was literally well off, like not even in the picture. So I just kind of rewatched it, and I said, I think the ride could be a little bit better. And I don't like to criticize John Velasquez ever, but I just think the move was a little too early. And I think maybe he tried to get the jump on Annex, and it didn't work out. So I think that's kind of why I went there. And I think that 2.5 length loss isn't as bad as it might seem if things were a little bit different trip-wise. So,
but I'm saying, what about Coolmore? My point was Coolmore got rid of this horse because they didn't think he was good enough after those good 4th place finishes.
Okay, yeah, are you asking me if that bothers me, or do I think?
Yeah, that was my question.
Oh no, that doesn't bother me at all. That doesn't bother me at all. I think Aaron and I talk about it all the time. Like I don't look into those types of things when I'm handicapping necessarily. Like I don't think I'm just kind of looking at it objectively and going by what I saw. And I think that race last time out told me enough of what I needed to see, and especially at the odds. So no, to sum it up, that doesn't bother me at all.
Okay, it kind of does me a little bit, but honestly, I don't think the horse is quite good enough. But I've been burned a couple times this Gulfstream card. All right, let's go to Papa Dude. You're waiting patiently. Listen, there's a lot to celebrate for you today because your first ever sports pick, Oregon State, on the website. You said Oregon State +7. We haven't had one sweat. This has been so easy for you. So congratulations on that. But let's talk about Gulfstream Park now. Annex, were you high on this horse when you handicapped it?
No, I was not.
Really?
My first pick was the 8. Yes,
The 8.
I like the 8. And no one's mentioned the 1. What's the deal on him?
Well, let's kick it to Vinny because
What's the
you
deal?
added the
Is
1 in the
there a
pick 5
problem?
or pick 4, Vinny. So what did you like about the 1?
Yeah, I had the 1. Go ahead, Vinny.
second time turf for Pletcher. Horse improved a lot in his 3-year-old debut for like getting on the turf. Keeps Irad, and it seemed like he fit. I like how he's like his running style of just kind of like sitting a couple lengths back. So, and he should get a ground saving trip from the 1 hole, hopefully. But I also like the 8. Those are the three that we have on our draft ticket are the same 3 I have on my own ticket. So,
well, that's definitely a good sign. I also I went 4, 6, 8. I kind of liked the 4 getting back to the turf after that race at Tampa Bay Downs was kind of a disaster. I'll talk about the 8 just real quick because that's my top pick as well. For me with the 8, it was Jose Ortiz getting aboard a Barkley tag horse. It just doesn't happen very often. And when it does, it usually works out pretty well. And like I kind of said on the shows, leading up to this during the week, it's not so much the riding ability of Jose Ortiz that gets me excited. It's just the fact that he's on the horse. That just tells me that the horse is probably doing well. They probably think they've got something here. So that was kind of my thought on putting the 8 on top. And I also was worried about this 4 to 5 price on the 6. Samich, we'll kick it to you now. You are in a bunch of tournaments. You've got the lead in a couple of them. I don't know, though. You probably can't give away who you're going to use in the tournament, can you? Because it's live?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 4 possible tournament horses here. I think you can play the 1 or the 2. I think the 5 as a lone speed candidate is actually interesting from a tournament perspective. If you want to take that at 12-1, and then the 8 horse, I think, is the other playable horse. So I'm kind of debating between those, and we'll mix and match on different entries depending on where that is. But the 5 is the 1 horse we haven't talked about, and I think the pace is one thing we haven't talked about in this race that is going to be important. I mean, we mentioned how we had a runaway leader in the Fighting Force Annex race last time. There's really no one who really wants the lead in this spot. I think you might see some pace out of the 4 Lucky Law. I think you might see some pace out of the 5 horse King of Dreams. So this is the second time on turf and the first time he wired the field. So I think those 2 horses are a little bit dangerous at numbers if they can get out to the lead and get going. I also think the 2 Fighting Force may end up being your speed of the speed. And I think that last race being 20 lengths behind may actually be a little bit of a red herring. Breaking from the 2 hole. So it's going to be interesting to me who makes the lead. I think that's going to be a big part of who wins this race.
Explain to me and to Ricky what a red herring is.
Red herring is when something kind of throws you off the scent because it's so ridiculous, but when you actually get down to it, it makes a little bit more sense. I mean, if I told you the horse I think will be on the lead was 20 lengths behind at the half-mile point last time, you'd be like, that's nuts. Right. But if you look back to the PPs, this horse showed speed 2 back, showed speed 3 back, showed speed 4 back. And this is kind of a paceless race. So it'll be interesting to see what Lannery does here. Magic's thing about Coolmore, I'm more concerned we're going from Johnny V to Corey Lannery than I am about the ownership problem.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Kind of the cool thing about doing these live shows is people are chiming in with their pick 4 tickets. Pocket Headies comes up here with this one. He's using Spielberg there in the last. He's throwing out Greatest Honor. He or she, I don't know by that name which one you are there, but yeah, I mean, listen, the throwing out of Greatest Honor is definitely kind of the ballsy play here, and it creates value. So good luck with that one. We also have Nick Sievers, a long-time listener to the show. Looks like same thing. Going to throw out Greatest Honor there in that last leg. So I guess the combined ticket that we have played a little more conservatively. But many handicappers today are going to do that. They're going to throw out Greatest Honor in the multis, try to create a price. Also, Nick, you're throwing out Always Shopping as well. So if you hit that one, we may just have you come on the show and brag about it because that's going to be a real good payout. So we'll root for that one to get home. Still walking around here. You talked about the pace a little bit. Ricky, I'll kick it to you. Do you kind of share Samich's idea of, hey, maybe this 5 can get out ahead, maybe the 2 can get out ahead here?
So just to recap the 2, that race was, I think it's a throwout. Like, to be brutally honest, like, I'm not sure how much we could look at that race the way it planned out and really look to it. To be brutally honest, again, love John Velasquez. He has not been at the top level that he has been at this meet. So I don't really mind the move to Corey Lanerie in this specific situation, especially Aaron and I, we talk about it all the time. I think it was maybe Angel Arroyo. Like, if your job is to get to the lead and those are your instructions, you should be able to do that. And can Corey Lanerie get this horse to the lead, like Mike just pointed out? If those are the instructions, then it shouldn't be that difficult. Where, to me, if you're going to be on the lead, the rider means a little bit less as opposed to if you're going to have to weave through traffic. Regarding the 5, the one race we saw on the turf was pretty good. Jaramillo gets back aboard. I'm not sure what we're missing here with the 5. And I shouldn't say we. I think the wagering public, I'll throw it in there, because I don't know if the 2 is going to go. We probably assume. But we know the 5 probably has to win this race. I think the 5 kind of has to. 10-1, I have a lot of interest in that horse. And I went 2-5-6 because I want the 2 speed horses. I'm not sure which one's going to be better. And I want the best closer. So that's kind of where I landed, 2-5-6.
I can't believe you're going against that New York turf angle there and leaving out that 8, Ricky. Man, that's –
Well, the 2 angles that I always talk about is that New York turf angle, but it's kind of worn off, and the Woodbine turf runners. Those horses should all be on the farm, except Helium. The one time I liked the Woodbine runner, the horse actually won. I don't know. I just don't think that. I think that 2 is getting overlooked because of the loss to Annex. And to Mike's point, that the way that race set up, I don't know how much you can really take of it.
I don't know if he's getting overlooked as much as it's. I mean, he left. How many times has a horse left Fletcher's barn and done fantastic?
Someone's volume.
Yeah, somebody's volume's on.
Papa Dude, is your volume on? I don't think so.
Yeah, I turned it off.
Okay.
I turned it off.
I mean, the horse. I mean, we'll see how he runs, but like the reason I threw him out is he's leaving Pletcher. Horses leaving Pletcher's barn and normally Chad Brown's barn like this, I want nothing to do with, especially when they're not claimed. They're just like they just switch. I want nothing to do with. If they beat me, they beat me. That's how I usually feel about them.
No, and I normally agree. But when we've just seen horses that I don't think personally are as good go get
Yeah,
so,
this turf course is
right, and that's the thing, right?
The whole track plays like that.
Right.
All right, they're in the gate. We're not going to have a race call. We're just going to kind of describe it to you because you have a race call and everybody's yelling during the call and you don't even hear it. So let's kind of describe what's happening. It looks like the 5 King of Dreams is out to the front, and It Can Be Done, the 7, kind of the outside. Those 2 are going to set the pace. So if you like the 5, I wouldn't be too upset right now. That's a decent trip.
No.
Flamini in 3rd. Magic, do you like where Flamini's at? Yep. All right. Let's see what that prac 24.06 to start it off. So they're not flying, that's for sure. Let's check on our favorite. Annex is in about 4th. He's in a pretty good spot. So, great. Sept Dancer's dead last. That's awesome.
Yeah, the 8's got a lot of work to do from there.
Yeah, that's great.
And they're not going very. It does not appear that they're going very fast.
No. Lucky Law is sitting a pretty good trip.
I was worried he was
47.
I was worried that 8 was coming off a long layoff.
Yeah.
He
It's
was
a worry.
coming off a long layoff.
Yep.
Well, we're about to find out how good this 6 is. Oh, the 8's ranging now, though.
The 8 is moving.
The 6 is moving. The 6 is you just took the 6 looked like you just took an awkward step, but he's still moving.
Why did we get the 8 in trouble?
Yeah, how do you go 6 wide in this field?
I don't know. He's going to struggle to get by him.
Magic's 9 at a huge number.
Here comes the 4. Here comes the 6. Here comes the 7. 6
Get up,
got it.
Get up,
Yeah.
6. Get your nose down.
Good call with that 9, Magic, though.
Yeah, 9 ran a hell of a
Magic.
race.
Magic muted, just yelling. That was a good call with that. That was a good call with that 9, though, Magic. I hope you played him in an exact or across the board at 25-1.
Yeah, I'm going to unmute you, Magic. Oh, gosh. We did it twice. We did it again.
I muted myself because I was typing, and then I don't know if we're allowed to be swearing, so there were a lot of F-bombs that you saw me screaming out. Man, I thought he was going to be there. I thought that 9 was going to get there, man.
I hope you used him. He looked like he held for second.
Yeah, he got second. Yeah, no, I just played a pick 4 ticket, so I had Annex, but I had the 9. And man, when Paco pushed the 6 out, I was like, that's the move. That's why I played the 9 right there.
That's why.
Because he's gonna do something stupid and reckless like that.
So it's 6. It's
9,
9 and 7,
7.
I believe.
Yeah, 6, 9, 7.
Just so you guys know, you are a trash announcer. Fuck, man. No one will ever follow you clowns with this guy. What's up, D-Sweet? All right, so
Well, that's good.
we get the favorite.
Nice.
Wait, you know
Very
what the funny
nice.
thing is? Wait, you know what the funny thing is? He's on here commenting, so he's following. Like, it doesn't really work that way. You can't be on here commenting and not be following.
This is a good point. We were talking about sexual kinks on Blinkers Off 2 nights ago. So yeah, I guess me screaming the F word a couple times would be.
Yeah, moving on. Listen, obviously our followers like D-Sweet love it. So let's keep it up. All right. So first of all, D-Sweet, before we move on, we don't call the races here because everybody yells during the races and you can't hear the call. So I don't know. If you like, maybe I'll call the next one for you and we'll mute everybody. We could do that.
That was my idea. I said either me or you or I, whatever the proper English is, should call it and just mute everybody.
Maybe we'll do that to maybe satisfy whoever
Why-
this is.
Or why in the hell would we call the races when you
I
get
love
right down to it? Why in the hell would we do that?
I personally watch
We're
like
not
every race
racing
on
now.
mute. Yeah, I personally watch like every single race on mute.
Well, I mean, it's stupid, isn't it? Isn't it stupid? We don't know how to call a damn race, right?
Aaron said I do a pretty decent
I
job.
believe that takes some skill. You do. You're not bad, but you're not going to get hired, Ricky. I'm going to tell you that
No,
right
I
now.
don't-
You're not bad.
I don't want to be hired.
Okay.
You know, Papa Dude was not with us last week, and it was boring. It was boring.
I wasn't here last week too. Was it even more boring?
Well, no, we weren't missing you really.
It would have been. Yeah.
That's bad.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I know you don't. And you're wearing your Oklahoma shirt.
I don't, Ricky. You know that.
Yeah, there's a
Damn
couple.
right I am. Bet
Yeah. As soon as Oklahoma loses, Aaron takes the gear
Yeah.
off.
Oh, come on. That's not.
Well, I do too.
Shots fired.
No, I'm
Here.
worse than Aaron
He's
about
on
that.
timeout.
Now, in football. Where'd he go?
He's on. I put him on timeout.
Oh, well, no, he was fine.
Oh,
Aaron,
man.
Ricky, in football, when they lose in football, I don't wear it for several weeks.
Well,
The gear.
no, I know, but it's good because you have a lot of months to wear it, like September. Well, even a little of August. August, September, October, November, December. You really only have to worry about once the playoffs start. That's the way it works.
Hey, that doesn't bother me one bit, Ricky, because we make the playoffs.
You do. You do.
Where did you go to school, Ricky?
Yeah,
Where did you go to school?
I went to Syracuse.
Oh, yeah. They're good in football. They're very good.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Do they have a football team? They used to have a football team.
They did. They were good 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
Donovan
They
McNabb.
were.
Dwight Freeney, Marvin Harrison, Jim Brown.
Yes.
Probably the
McNabb.
best running back collection of all time.
Yep.
No doubt. Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, arguably the best running back stable ever went to Syracuse. So
All right, so let's get back to racing here. D-Sweet is on a roll. He says, don't get it twisted. A 10-1 will win the Derby this year. Okay, thank you. Race 12, Gulfstream Park. Let's move on to it. That's where we're going to go next because speaking of the Derby from D-Sweet, we've got the Kentucky Oaks, and we got a Kentucky Oaks prep race coming up here at Gulfstream. The Gulfstream Park Oaks, boy, this circuit or this crop of 3-year-olds for the females, they have been hit and miss. We've seen some good performances. We've seen some wild results, all kinds of weird things. Let's kick it. Samich, are you watching tournaments? Looks like you are. Let's kick it to Ricky first. Boy, first glance through this race, the Gulfstream Park Oaks, what were your initial thoughts?
I said yesterday that this 3-year-old filly group is horrible. Like it's really, really bad. Which at this point, we could throw it around like a round table discussion. I don't know if anyone has a clear-cut filly that they love, which kind of leads me to my point here. I think you could make a case for a bunch. Aaron, we talked about it yesterday. Cone Lima, who is, I shouldn't say turf specialist, but has done well on the turf, comes into this spot at 3-1. What does that tell you about this race? It tells me that it's wide open, because at no point or another should this horse with this much turf experience with one dirt victory be the 3-1 and taking money. So I'm not really sure where to go. I'm kind of interested in what everyone else thinks here. Samich, how did that race turn out for you, by the way?
Not great, man. I had the 8-horse Flat Out Jenny at Aqueduct, who was closing, but was a little too far back for Trevor McCarthy. Ended up running third, favorite at 8-5-1, so it doesn't hurt too much. Still sitting in the top 10 here. But the 5, you can tell it's a tournament horse when 5 of the top 6 people all played the same horse. Oh. It kind of gives away that, okay, that was clearly the one that a lot of people were interested in. So we got 7 races left, sitting in the top 10 still. Yeah, this is not the best group of fillies we've ever seen, and which makes this race, I think, interesting. I mean, you've got Crazy Beautiful, first time we've seen her since the Breeders' Cup, coming back here and trying to win. I thought this was one of the worst favorites, morning line favorites on the card. Right now, she's 2-1. Little surprise, Cone Lima is your favorite at 6-5. I didn't expect that much money to come in on the 1. Obviously, we're pretty early here. Still got a while to post time, but to me, I think that you got to try and beat the 3 Crazy Beautiful off the layoff. I'm not a huge fan of McPeak off the layoff. I know Magic can pull all the stats out in the world about how good he has been as a favorite in these great stakes races. But to me, I think this is somewhere you got to take a shot. And the fact that you see Cone Lima as a favorite tells you how weak this overall group is.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Cone Lima 6-5. That is a really short price. And listen, I think that horse can win. Don't get me wrong at all. I think that's a win contender for sure. But man, a turf horse at Gulfstream Park and the Gulfstream Park Oaks is 6-5. I think, Ricky, that kind of speaks to what you were saying, that this race is just kind of weak. Now, Vinny, on our group pick 4, you threw in the 2. So I want to hear your thoughts on the 2.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I just want to pull up I have the past performances up too. I think the horse show, won last time out now over this track, went gate to wire against a group probably didn't need to go gate to wire against. I just, like you said, this group isn't great. So the group's not great. I'll take a horse that's coming in off a win. Just throw it in there and hope that the group isn't fantastic. I mean, I think Cone Lima, like you said, Cone Lima at 6-5 is crazy. I like her too, but I wouldn't touch her at 6-5.
It's crazy and I'm sure you're the same way, Vinny. You look at these races on Wednesday, Thursday when they come out, and you kind of look at it and you go, well, okay, Cone Lima against this field, maybe a lone speed. Yeah, 3-1. That kind of be playable. And then you see these odds, and it's just like, wow, I can't believe.
Yeah, and there's been a bunch of gate to wire winners today, so I can see why she's 6-5. Speed that's where you want to be. She's rail speed too. So if she gets out of the gate and is all of a sudden up by 3 lengths, before they hit the quarter, the race is probably over right there if Arad's not an idiot. If he can get a 3-length lead and only run a 24 and 2, right out of the gate, the race is probably over. Yeah, if we're being honest, that, and that's kind of what it came down to. When I was handicapping this race, do I think Cone Lima can get a lone lead? And I do. So I like the 2 kind of to pick up minor awards, but I don't really think the 2 could actually win. I'd be shocked if it actually won.
Well, we've been shocked, like I said, with this crop a lot. Really, last week was kind of formful, but this crop's kind of been crazy. Papa Dude, going to send it to you now. Like I said, who you got here? Who's the horse you like on top?
Well, I kind of like the 6 on top. I think the number 1 horse is bet down because of the jockey trainer combination, don't you? I mean, not everybody's as smart as us, right? When it comes to racing. So, the fans are there and they're sitting there going, well, shit, it's Fletcher and Arad Ortiz Jr. I've heard of those 2 guys. I'm going to pick them. And the horse is, he's 4 for 8, even though it's been mostly on turf. Yeah. But this early betting's coming in from the track. right?
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And so the smart guys will come in later. So I don't think, and the odds went up to 7-5. So I think it's going to go up. I really do. I don't like Kenny McPeak. There's no doubt about that in my mind. You know that, Aaron. I never have been a big fan.
Yeah.
I've always wondered how he gets these great horses because he usually gets really good horses. I mean, that horse is on form is really good. The 3. So I don't know. It's 1, 3, or 6. 1, 3, or 6 for me, and that's the way I would go. I wouldn't bet the 1 at 7-5.
Right.
I don't think.
Based on doubles pools and everything, it looks like the 1 and the 3 are going to go off at about the same price.
Okay.
They are, the pick 3 is separate. The pick 3 is separated by 60 cents between them for the will pays, and the double is 40 cents between them, and then it's about an $8 gap back to Millie Philly.
I love that you used her real name there, Millie Philly.
Yeah. So I mean, the money. It seems like the 1 is definitely that money. That early money on the 1 seems like it's going to hold up at least a little bit.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. My top pick was the 6 Millie Philly, and when to kind of piggyback on Vinny's point, it does seem like it's going to be really hard for anybody to catch Cone Lima, but I think with a little bit better trip this time, Millie Philly is the candidate to be right there within range. I'm not saying she's going to run stride for stride with Cone Lima. That's not going to happen, but she's going to be the one within range. So if that horse starts to come back, I think she gets first run. I'm thrilled with the 7-2 price. I mean, I think if you're back in the 6, you got to be happy with that. I don't think you could have expected much more than that. This race, it was tricky. It took a while, and I'm kind of with my dad. 1-3-6. That's just kind of, I just think one of those 3 are going to win. Ricky, Dad kind of talked about Crazy Beautiful a little bit. Did you use Crazy Beautiful on your ticket?
Yeah, I put her on top.
Okay.
And this was why. I think everyone was really shocked by the Devona Dale, obviously, with whole Bodemeister. It probably is a boom race, right? If we're sitting here just talking about it, it's probably a race that she won't repeat. Now, it's possible. We don't know. But I guess right now, if we're just talking about it, it's probably a boom race. So for me, I don't mind taking a horse that finished second by that many lengths, unless we just think whole Bodemeister is that much better than everyone else. And maybe she is. Like, I know Magic's a Malathot fan. I'm the complete other way. I'm not a Malathot fan. So maybe that's why I don't like Millie Philly or whatever we're going to call her, because I didn't love the Damoiselle at all. So that's where we differ. And this filly kind of reminds me of one that we're making an excuse for. I'm not taking anything of the Damoiselle. It was kind of just a sloppy, we're going to just run in order type of race. And maybe that's good enough. Maybe Malathot's really, really good, and to finish where she did on a sloppy track makes sense. And if she can repeat that race, fine. But her best race was that spot over a sloppy track. Maybe it was her maiden special weight win. So that's why I used the 4 over the 6. And this is why I'm putting all my stock into the Devona Dale. And to me, that logic makes sense, because if I'm going all in on the Devona Dale with Crazy Beautiful, I'm going to do the same thing with the 4. And I don't like the Damoiselle race with Malathot at all, so I don't know why I would use Millie or Millie Philly. So that's why I went. I still do like Cone Lima on top, but I really do like Crazy Beautiful, and I think second start in a while should do her some justice here. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. I'm shocked at the odds, though, with Cone Lima.
It's kind of a class versus flash type of thing a little bit. I mean, you've got the class of Crazy Beautiful, but you could never really say that she's a flashy horse. Just gets minor awards, really doesn't ever really threaten to win. That's kind of the thing I hate about her. But she definitely is more classy than the rest of these horses, where you've got the flash and Cone Lima, who definitely, early turn of foot and things like that. Magic, let's kick it to you. You're muted, but do you want to come in? Okay, you're going to come in. We haven't got your thoughts on this race. You analyzed this for the Magic Mike show. What were your thoughts on this one?
I was trying to take a shot against Crazy Beautiful. As crazy as it is that Kenny McPeak is 37% as the favorite as the trainer, and it gets better as you get into graded stakes races. I don't like this horse as far as a win candidate goes because she fired really fresh early and has just kind of been runner up a lot. I would stick with Millie Philly and then Cone Lima. Those were in order my two picks for this race. And then actually you guys used the 2 Bow Bow Girl in your ticket. That was the third horse I would have used in this spot if I was going to go 3 deep. So I'm not going to repeat anything that everybody else has said. I think we've pretty much covered it. So those are the horses I like.
All right, let's kick it to Samich, who's back. Again, you're not going to give us your tournament horse because it is live, but from a tournament perspective, how do you look at this race? Muted. No.
Yeah, when I'm playing tournaments, this is one of those races that I just don't like playing. I mean, it's a really tough spot because the 3 horses I like are the 1, 3, 6. And the 3 horses that are tough to play in a tournament because of value are the 1, 3, 6. So those 3 of them to me are kind of tough. If you have to kind of spread out and figure out where you want to go here, I haven't decided. I'm fortunate that I'm up close to the front in the leaderboard, so I can play those. On entries that I'm kind of further back, you kind of are forced to play horses like the 2, the 4, the 5, or the 7. The 2, obviously, at 7-1 would be the most logical. To me, if I'm going to take a crazy shot, it's probably the 5 at 16-1 from just a stabbing tournament perspective. You've got 2 horses in here for Dale Romans. If you like the 2, I think you kind of have to like the 5 a little bit. The other Dale Romans horse who has Johnny V up. So for me, if I'm stabbing at tournaments, I think the 5 is the one that you want to play. Other than that, this is a tough tournament race because it's one of those where you don't have a logical long shot that I think is really live.
Ricky, are you shocked that nobody likes the 4 on this whole thing but you?
Well, no one's really maybe I don't want to speak for everyone, but no one's really into Crazy Beautiful all that much. So if with that logic, that makes perfect sense to me. So one of the reasons that these are so interesting, right, is I'm throwing all my stock into it. Magic's throwing a lot of his stock into the Damoiselle because I know what he thinks of Malathot. So that would make sense. Like for me to put Milf Will on top when I don't like the rest of the group, like I don't like that race. So I'm not going to put her on top. I'd much rather use a horse like the 2 to Magic's point because we really don't know. Like, is she getting better? Was that field horrible? These are all questions. With questions come value or a potentially underrated horse. I'm throwing everything about that Malathot race out, so I want nothing to do with her. That's just me. Or if she wins here, then my opinion of Malathot was completely wrong. We're about to find out. But so I don't mind that no one likes the 4 because no one really loves the 3. And I admit the 4 is worse than the 3 on paper.
It seems like you are another one that you have, and I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but you're another one that a lot of people really like Malathot. So can you kind of go through why you didn't like that race and then the horses now that you're not going to use because of it?
Yeah, so I was not a fan of that race, and I'll be brutally honest. Just being a New Yorker, you have to like wow me, like to run well. And I just didn't like that race. I kind of saw it as like, all right, this is where we broke, and this is where we kind of ran. And we haven't seen her yet. So I'm not sure, maybe that's the key you were looking for. Like, I don't know what she is because we haven't seen her. And I watched the Milf Will race or, whatever her name is, Millie Philly. It was one race after and she was dreadful. So if I'm just applying the same logic to Malathot, maybe that race isn't that good. Or Malathot did enough on a sloppy track and she's going to be really good when she comes back. So yeah, I'm just going by what I've seen.
I would make the counter argument that the Devona Dale wasn't that bad of a race for Millie Philly. I think that she got in traffic trouble and kind of checked back when she started to make any type of move and then just was eased. Like, so I think looking back at that race, to me, it's one of those where I don't think we saw anything close to what possibly could be her top effort. And that's why I kind of give her a pass. I drew a line through that race when I kind of watched it back. And you had that wire-to-wire winner at impossible odds. So for me, I kind of drew a line through the Devona Dale for Millie Philly specifically. So that was my thought on that. I agree with you, though. If you don't like Malathot, it makes perfect sense not to be on the 6.
Right, exactly. And that's fair enough. Whether I'm wrong or right, I'm just trying to stay consistent. I'm trying to stay logical. For me to use a 6 when I didn't like the winner, to me, doesn't make sense. So, but to everyone's point, I think we've all touched on it. This race is extremely wide open. Like the fact that a turf horse is like vying for favoritism, whether it's a jockey trainer combo or whatever. I think it goes to show you that anyone could win in this spot. Like I think you can make a case for almost everyone.
I think Cone Lima should be the favorite. I think you have a logical lone speed horse in Cone Lima. That I think is the thing that hasn't really been touched on, at least when I was here. I think that horse is going to go wire to wire. Or it's really dangerous to go wire to wire. And I think that's why Cone Lima is 6-5, not the connections, not anything else, but the fact that no one's going with it. So she's going to have the lead, and this is Gulfstream Park. So it's mile and 16 short stretch. It's tough to catch that horse turning for home.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I totally agree. Papa Dude, did you watch Oaklawn race 7 just now?
No, I did not.
Uh-oh.
Did I get it?
You're frozen again.
Did I get it?
You did get it. Yes. Papa Dude, if you read the article
Well,
today,
probably a
spot
good thing.
play on Intrepid Park. You got it. Yep.
You got a Villanova
All right.
Baylor play, Papa Dude?
Yeah. Somebody's asking Villanova and
I think
Baylor.
this
Who do you
is a
like?
game. I think Villanova's got a good shot to win that game. I really do. Here's the deal. Baylor hasn't, they're not tournament tested. I'm talking about their history. Villanova is. That makes a difference in this tournament. I guarantee it does. Now, Baylor's better. They're better.
Papa Dude,
But
guarantee.
will they? Hey, I'm going to tell you something. It's all about pressure, boys. And in these tournaments, these teams that have been in it, and they're used to being in it, they don't choke.
Well,
And I'm telling you, I can see Baylor choking. I think Baylor's a great team. I really do.
Yeah. From a coaching perspective, hold on. From a coaching perspective, because you coached basketball for 40 years, you've got Jay Wright versus Scott, versus Scott Drew. What is that a mismatch in your mind?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, it's nothing against Scott Drew. No, absolutely not. Baylor has got to believe they can win, and I'm not sure they do. I mean, it's just the way it is, guys. They're not a powerhouse year in and year out. Villanova is. Now, I don't know that I could actually pick Villanova, but I won't be surprised.
What about? So the spread is 7.5. Villanova plus 7.5. Would you take them at plus 7.5?
I would sure have to think hard on it. I believe I would. I really do. I don't think Baylor's going to blow them out. I don't. I hope Baylor wins. I'm a Big 12 guy, so I hope they win. But I would not be shocked. If I was Baylor, I'd rather be playing somebody else. I guarantee you that.
I totally agree with that. I think they got a hard
And it's the same. It's the same. Oh, they do. And it's the same thing with Houston tonight playing Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Syracuse is a tournament tested team. I mean, this is old hat to them, and that would scare me to death tonight too in that game.
Yep.
Even though the Cougars are my team.
The old Kelvin Sampson connection with OU. That's why the Cougars are Papa Dude's rooting interest. Yeah.
Like
Right.
Houston Cougars?
Right.
Yes.
You know, Vinny, a while ago you
I
were
picked them
talking
to win
about, and if we need to, do we need to go to another sub? No, I mean, are we?
No, go on real quick.
You want me to shut up?
No, go on. Ask Vinny.
Okay, Vinny, I was listening to you a while ago. Vinny, you're absolutely right. The offense has not been very good, but you got to understand, there is tremendous pressure in this tournament, and you don't shoot the ball as well in this tournament.
Yeah.
It's a 1 and out, and you're
Oh
done.
yeah, no, definitely. It's like not even like the shooting percentage really isn't what like by bad offense. It was more of like it seems like
Right.
a lot of these teams don't practice half court sets anymore. And it's like they get into a half court set.
Well, you're
and
absolutely
they just don't know
You're
what
right.
to do. And when the game's in transition, it's like, the one pass shot is like what a lot of these teams want to do. And like
absolutely.
some of these half court
You're
sets
right.
have just been awful. And it's like it just makes
even
me
at
wonder.
the high school level.
Oh yeah.
Well, even at the high school level, that's the way it is. And basketball has changed so much because of the 3-point shot. That's the
Right.
biggest change.
And it's
You know,
like they're
used
not
to-
even
You can't hardly play a zone anymore.
oh no,
Do what?
I honestly can't believe Syracuse still plays it.
Yeah.
I really
Well,
like
they're the best
nothing.
at it.
Nothing.
There's no doubt.
Exactly. No. 100%. They're the best at it. But just the way the game is played now. I mean, like I know, like when I played as a shooter,
Absolutely.
when teams played a zone against me, like I was happy because that means they're going to give me jump shots.
Yeah.
And like that is, you run into one team that shoots 40% from 3 against you playing zone, you're done. Like you have
Nobody does that.
well, in this tournament, clearly not. But I mean, like no one. It's just what. Yeah, I mean, it's got to go back a while. But I mean, when that's why Davidson made it so far with Curry. Teams just kept letting Curry shoot threes.
Vinny, he's the best shooter of all time.
He is. I agree with that. But like I'm just saying, you get a team that consistently, like you get a team that one good shooting night and like you beat a zone, and it's not.
Yes.
It's not fantastic. I do. Syracuse is the only team. Yeah.
It used to be okay when it was a 2-point shot. Now it's a 3, and that's the change. That's the big change. Well, like we weren't worth a crap this year, but we had to play man because we couldn't score very well, couldn't give up threes. We just couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I think was anybody alive other than Papa Dude when the 3-point line got put into play? When did they add that?
I coached when we didn't have a 3-point line.
I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You did. We didn't go over.
I coached when you used to. Go ahead.
No, Aaron didn't.
I remember when you used to shoot a free throw all the time.
Aaron didn't.
You didn't go to 7 and then start shooting a 1-on-1.
I think we missed the biggest point about tournament basketball. It's guard play.
What's that?
It's guard play. No one wins a tournament without guard play. No one.
You just have to have a go-to.
No, of course.
You just have to have a go-to guy at the end of games.
It's Vinny.
You do. You just have to have a go. Like you just have to have a guy, one guy. It's not that simple. Give the ball. It is though. It really is. It really is that simple. If you have one guy who your offense is built around, and that's the issue with some of these teams that some of these big name teams that just they stick with the same system year in and year out. And like I got a lot of crap on it yesterday on Twitter when Shaka Smart signed with Marquette because he has had the same system since he was at VCU, and it is a good system, but it's not like the way he does, like he's very defensive oriented, which is fine. But on offense, he does not make a system where one guy late in games is supposed to get the ball, and when they get in close games, they get in trouble.
Well,
and a lot of those big name schools.
I know we have to go.
Yeah, we're starting up. We're done. That's the last point on basketball.
That's fine.
Maybe later we'll talk about.
Did we miss the race? I didn't see the race.
We're 0 minutes opposed to the Gulfstream Park Oaks, so we're running right there. We've got Cone Lima at 7-5, so holding right there. Crazy Beautiful 2-1. Millie Philly now down to 3-1. Samich, I'm going to let you have maybe the final word. They're kind of going towards the gate here. Narrow down that tournament play for us. What's the long shot you're looking at? Oh, mute again.
This is
I think the 5-horse. Well, I'm not going to sit here and talk about college basketball for an hour. I think the 5-horse Lenlow Lady is the horse to go to if you're looking for a long shot. I think that the fact that Velasquez leaves Millie Philly and ends up on the 5-horse for Romans, a trainer he doesn't ride for that often, makes that horse interesting at 18-1. I think Cone Lima is going to wire this field. To be honest with you, I think that the 1 horse is going to make pretty easy work of this, and I don't see a ton of pressure here, and I think that's why.
Do you try and find a horse that, in that case, Mike, that say there's a horse that's going to be probably forwardly placed, that's going to be like a longer price? Do you just hope that it turns into a carousel ride and you have a long shot that goes all the way around in second or something like that? Is there a horse like that you can find?
Well, to me, the 2 and the 5 are the other 2 pace pressures. They're both the other Romans horses, which it's tough to necessarily know what they're going to do. The fact that Lannery stays on the 2 probably means the 2 is the better horse. But the fact that, like, I hate trying to overanalyze jockeys too much, but the fact that Velasquez leaves the 6 for the 5 to me is kind of telling in that spot. And both of them have shown some early speed. So I think the 3 horses that you're going to see up front are the 1, 2, 5. So if I'm playing it for a price, I would look at the 2 or the 5, and the 5 is 18-1, the 2 is 6-1. So sign me up for the 18-1 shot in tournaments.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do. Listen, if you had here's an interesting idea, because there's, like you said, 5 or 6 races left. Say you were in the lead. Would you go with the shorter price?
Not in this spot.
Okay.
Because I feel like you have the favorite in a way if you're in the lead, right? The 3-2 can't hurt you. But if you look at playing, 3-2, 2-1, you're going to lose $8. You're not going to lose the tournament. If the 5 or the 4 or the 7 wins here, even if you're in the lead, you're down $30. So that is too big of a swing. So in my mind, if you're in the lead, you have the favorite in a way. So you got to kind of play a little defensively and look for a price.
All right, so we are loading into the gate now. So here's what I'm going to do, because D-Sweet got mad last time. I'm going to quasi-call the race, but you're going to hear a bunch of people screaming, and then it's going to ruin it. But I'm going to try it, okay? I'm not going to be totally professional. I didn't prepare like last week, but I will quasi-call this. The one Con Lima's in 3-2. That looks like what this horse is going to go off at. Now 8-5, as I say that. So 8-5, Con Lima, Crazy Beautiful, the gray by Liam's Map. Ooh, she's bucking here as we get ready to load. She doesn't want to go in. That's usually not a great sign.
She did that last time, too.
Yep.
I feel like I'm watching Dubai. Right? We're going to get half the horses loaded, and one of them's going to break through the gate and run off the whole track.
Let's hope not. That was wild. I like horses running loose as long as they don't get hurt, because they look like they're having fun when they do it.
The second one just went right back to the barn.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yep. We were at Will Rogers, and one got loose, and it was just kind of fun to watch him run around. All right, 6 Millie Philly.
Well, when the outriders don't try to get them.
That was the craziest thing. The outriders did not try to catch the ones at
T-Rex arms. He was like this. He's like, I'm going to get him.
Hey, at Will Rogers Magic, they just watch them. They don't even try to get them.
Let them tire themselves out.
Yeah. All right, they're off, guys.
They swipe at them.
Right. All right, to the front goes Con Lima, but she's not by herself. Now she's started to distance a little bit. So Con Lima to the front. Looks like about a half-length lead, now maybe a full-length lead over the 2. Is it Bobo or Bow Bow Girl? We'll say Bobo.
Bow Bow.
Bow Bow Girl. All right. So 3/4 length lead for Con Lima up the backstretch. Bow Bow Girl in second. Lynn Low Lady is in third. And it looks like in fourth is Penn Street. Millie Philly in 6th. They're kind of tightly grouped. I'm a little surprised. 24.16 for the opening quarter. And it is Con Lima about a length in front. Not going fast, but there are horses within range. Where is Crazy Beautiful? Crazy Beautiful is nowhere to be found last right now.
It's going to have to be much the best.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Much the best. Millie Philly's starting to make a move. Crazy Beautiful is starting to get in range a little bit, but Con Lima kind of on cruise control. Bow Bow Girl starting to range up now. Here comes Millie Philly. She's making a pretty big move on the outside, guys. And there's a horse just to her outside, Penn Street, but Millie Philly says goodbye. And now it's a 2-horse race is what it looks like to me.
Crazy Beautiful's moving.
Oh, here comes Crazy Beautiful. You're right. Moving between horses.
She's moving. The seven's moving a little bit.
I don't think the 7 is going to be able to sustain that. That is a long, wide move.
I think the 6 is gone.
Millie Philly looks straight at the top of the stretch, but here comes Crazy Beautiful. It's going to be close. Millie Philly, Crazy Beautiful to the outside, and the favorite Crazy Beautiful is going to go right on by.
Yeah, I'm done with Millie Philly after that.
Yep, you have to win that one.
Yep, you do.
I made a parlay. Crazy Beautiful and Baylor -7.5.
So Crazy Beautiful keeps the guide alive going into the with the Rainbow 6, the Pick 5, and the Pick 4. That's the good news. The bad news is the group ticket is busted right there. Okay, let's go. Initial thoughts on this race. I'll kick it to Ricky first. Initial thoughts.
I mean, she was the classiest coming in. Like you said, it's speed or angle versus class. So my initial thoughts are the same as what they are now. Crazy Beautiful is classier than this group. She ran much better than Milfwill. Relatively slow, dead last. wins easily. And now I have to question Malathaat. Now, it's not her fault. I guess we're going to find out what she's made of, but I was willing to throw that race completely out before. I don't think we learned much from Will Foyle in my book. I think I kind of know what she is. She's probably maybe the 5th best filly. Like, I don't look at her as an real Oaks contender at this point. So my thoughts haven't changed pre-race, post-race.
Magic, I'll kick it to you because you tried to beat this horse, and I don't blame you. Thoughts on the race after what we just saw?
God, why did Moonlight Doro have to get hurt? She could beat these horses backwards. These are not great horses. These are not even, I don't know, all that good horses. It was a good effort from Crazy Beautiful. To be last like that, I thought she was in trouble being too far back, but then they got a little closely grouped. And then, yeah, like you said, very classy here. The thing about Malathaat, if you remember that race when she beat Millie Philly, Malathaat blew the start, had a really bad start, and came up and won it. It was one of those races where it was like Millie Philly probably should have won that. We were at the time thinking Malathaat was just that powerful to get the job done. So we'll see if that happens again. I still am very on the Malathaat train in the Ashland, but the Oaks picture, it still looks like it's going through fairgrounds, which is it's always a fun thing when that happens. But I think we're going to see that tradition continue. Yeah,
I think you might be right. This was a good performance, though, for sure. I think, Samich, I think it was you that I could kind of hear saying, boy, it looks like Millie Philly's getting ready to run away from him. And I thought so, too. And I thought, 4-1, what a price. Kind of give us your thoughts.
He's muted.
That's a little bit of a bummer, man. It looked like that horse was just going to take off at the top of the stretch and just couldn't kind of sustain that same move. When you look back at the time, I mean, 24-1, 48-4. Then they go 113, 138 for the mile. They weren't exactly flying home there. And so Crazy Beautiful able to make up the ground. I thought, honestly, I mean, I'm not going to take anyone out of this race based on the way that they came home here. I think Crazy Beautiful did run pretty big, though. I mean, you got to give her credit. She was way back there. And Cone Lima definitely stopped, but Millie Philly ran a decent race, and Crazy Beautiful was going by. But I don't want anyone out of this race moving forward.
Yeah, I don't know about Crazy Beautiful. I think is one, underneath. You just have to respect her. She ran awfully well here today, better than I thought. And I was with you. I thought, oh boy, 4-1 on the 6, that would have been okay. But that's how it works sometimes. Papa Dude, you don't like Kenny McPeak, but big victory here.
Yeah, I have to admit it. I hate to, but got the best horse.
Yeah,
that horse was really good, and I mean, ran huge. Look how far back he was, and that's very, very impressive. Because Millie Philly should have won. Yeah. I don't know which one of you said you're done with Millie Philly, but that's a good move. I think. I think he's had it.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. The thing that's upsetting for people that tried to beat Crazy Beautiful right there is pretty much most of the race you thought you had her beat. I mean, it just didn't look very good. I will point to next because you pointed it out. You said, Crazy Beautiful is moving. So you spotted her quickly. Give me your thoughts on the race.
I mean, that's the second stakes race I think Millie Philly should have won. She did the same thing in the Malathaat race. She hit the front and she just kind of stopped. And I don't think Crazy Beautiful is that good. I won't play her back. Millie Philly just does not. She seems like she might be one of those horses that maybe if she gets Rosario back, Rosario could perfectly time it. But I want nothing to do with any of those horses.
So Jason says, since we have the Brady Bunch set up here, which one of you is Marcia? And Magic, you were pointing to Samich. That's not very nice. That's your friend over there. So.
Yeah.
How many more times do we have to tell him to unmute his mic before he just starts talking?
Would you prefer to hear poker chip shuffling? Is that what you want? I can just do this the whole time.
This is why the Magic Mike Show is one take. We don't stop. We don't talk to people in between things. We just go and we stop when we're done, and that's it.
I want to kick something to Ricky because Pocket Heady says, surprised Ricky didn't take the 3 in race 12. Asked about that. I think he means for the pick 4 that we did. What did you do in that race? I don't even remember.
So I passed, and the reason I did, and I was actually going to bring up like this comment because I did want to address it. So this is Aaron and I, working together for an hour and 15 minutes 3 times a week. So we were kind of looking at the same comment.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I thought someone else was going to use this horse. So it's not because I didn't want to use her. It's when we were, when Mike Somich set it up, it was one of those you had to pass. So I just figured someone was going to use her. That's not why so I passed. I think Mike might have passed with me. Someone else passed with me. So I didn't get a chance to use the 3 because I thought someone else would. So it's not.
I think both you guys passed. Didn't you pass too, Somich? Yeah.
Yeah. So that right, exactly, because we didn't have Magic on, so it was just you, Papa Dude, and Vinny.
Yeah.
So Mike and I passed because I thought someone else would take her, which would have left me another bullet later in the sequence. So
right. Yeah, I kind of assumed we had 1-3. We would have 1-3-6.
Yeah. So exactly. So I kind of figured.
I'll take blame on that. I did not like Crazy Beautiful at all. So I will take blame on that.
I didn't mind not using the 6, clearly. I would have used the 4, but I just figured we would at least get the 3. And that was so that's really what it came down to. So I guess Mike and I were kind of in the same boat as to why I didn't say the 3, because we passed. So I would have said the 3 because I loved her. I thought she was much better. And Aaron, I think you said it yesterday when we were live. The fact Todd Pletcher just has a Florida turf runner, and he's like, yeah, I'll give her a shot. He told us what this field is. You don't have to ask any of us. Todd Pletcher told us what this field is made of. So take that for what you wish. But he kind of made the bed for us. More.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And that's why I didn't take Conlima, because it's like it just felt like a throw-in, a taker on top, I should say, because it just felt like a let's throw in and hope race. That's why I was really confident Millie Philly would run better, and she did run better, but still got beat. I do this after the Derby preps. Let's do it after the Oaks now, because it's kind of, we're getting close, right? We just got a few preps left. As of now, Jim Boeheim, who is your Kentucky Oaks pick?
I can't believe you threw it to me first. You didn't throw it to me first all the time. You know what? I'll take Travel Column.
Okay.
Please don't put that in stone, please. I'm just interested. Like when I look at Clairiere, I kind of looked at a horse that I think when I'm looking at the 2, I believe Travel Column can actually get a little bit better. And I really like the Fairground Oaks race. To Magic's point, I think he was talking about it before. I think this is going through Fairgrounds. And I believe the best filly right now at Fairgrounds is Travel Column. So that's where I went. I think it is these 2, though, like Clairiere and Travel Column. And I think there's a sizable group. Obviously, Magic talked about Moonlight before. And I agree. I do agree with his sentiment. Like if Moonlight's running, I think this conversation is it's like a dead end. But I would take Travel Column, and I do like the way she's been running lately, and she's looked much better in my book in 2021. So that's where I would go, Travel Column.
All right, Magic. What do you think? You have a pulse right now on the Oaks?
It's Travel Column. I think Travel Column and Clairiere could honestly be like a 1-2 finish in the Oaks. The thing is, this kind of reminds me a little bit of a few years ago when we had Monomoy Girl and Midnight Bisou going into the Kentucky Oaks. And you had one horse, Midnight Bisou, who liked to come from way off the pace, and Monomoy, who liked to be on the lead. And I think that in a race like that, the speed is going to prevail. And so I would want Travel Column, but I think Clairiere is going to be coming up. You're going to get good, short odds on both of them, especially after these performances. But I think even as far as closers go, I'd rather have Clairiere than what we saw here from Crazy Beautiful. So, sorry, it's Travel Column. There really isn't anything in California that excites me. It's pretty boring out here for the Oaks.
All right, Somich.
Yeah, I'm not going to break the trend. It's Travel Column. I think that's clearly the best horse right now. We haven't seen Vequist since I don't even know when. I'm going to go Travel Column and move along.
Wow, Vinny, are we going to go all Travel Column here?
Yeah, we are. We're going to go all Travel Column here. It's going to be boring, but I would take that. I would play that Fairgrounds Exacta today for the Oaks if I could.
Now, you liked Clairiere a lot in the Oaks, or in the Fairgrounds Oaks. Do you think any way to kind of turn the tables?
I honestly think she can, but the issue now is that I feel like the way that she can is that somebody can kind of keep pressure on Travel Column through the turn. I I haven't seen anybody who's even worth using like that. There's the way I see it, like the race is going to play out the same way that their last race played out. Travel Column takes the lead entering the turn, and she turns for home in front, and then Clairiere is trying to chase her down. And if nobody can stay with her, like she probably won't be able to reel her in. So that's kind of what's made me change my flip them for the time being. Is that I don't think anybody's good enough to run with her after 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you as well. It just looks like it's going to set up awfully well. Before we move on to this race, we got some comments here. Our Stephanie's alive to 1579 with 57910 to close out the pick six. Listen, that's pretty good coverage right there. So I think you could be smiling. Vinny might say, "Hey, soup and sandwich, you don't have that horse." So we'll see. Here's a good. Who's alive? Nick, the guide is alive. We got to get Always Shopping home here, but the guide is alive. So hopefully that can work out well, and then we'll go alive into the big one. No, I'm alive on 2 tickets. Let's hope you get them both. We'll definitely be rooting for you. All right, so let's move on to the 13th race here. Right now, we have a pretty heavy favorite at 4-5. It's Always Shopping. Kind of won a race very similar to this last time out on Pegasus Day. Pretty much going these marathon turf distances. Ricky, looking at Vinny and wanted to pick Ricky. Ricky at 9 or at 4-5. Do you support the 9 here? Or are you going to try to beat this horse?
I'll try to beat her. I hate these types of races. For the record, I hate these distances. I think a lot of things. It's all about positioning. It's all about where you are into the first turn and how you settle into the backstretch, how you kind of position yourself. It's interesting, as I say that, sometimes talent wears down the rest of this field. I do believe Always Shopping is the horse to beat. So for the guy, I'm rooting for the 9. But I still like that 7. I'll be brutally honest. I have no idea what the odds are. I'm watching Baylor. If someone wants 12-1, yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in. But I will be rooting for the guide, and I'm rooting for the 9. But I would take a shot with the 7, Delta's Kingdom. I don't think Delta's Kingdom is that much worse.
Magic, I'll kick it to you. You guys covered this on the Magic Mike show, and kind of give you. I know you tried to be Crazy Beautiful and you're out, but kind of give us the breakdown of how you saw this race going.
You mean what I thought of going into the race or coming out of it?
Yeah. No, this race now. Yeah.
The Gulfstream Park Oaks or the one coming up? Sorry.
This one coming up. Yep.
The Orchid. This one, sorry, let me just scroll down here. I really like the rail horse on there. Always Shopping is the favorite for a reason. 3-5 is very short, but that's honestly, I was expecting, when I saw 8-5 in the morning line, I was like, she's going to be even money, maybe sub-even money. If you wanted to try and beat her, I think if you look at her buyers, she's looked really great in these marathon turf races for the fillies and mares, but she's not getting super high buyers. 88 was her best until she got that 94. So if she gets a regression, which I think is possible here, I like looking at the 5 Sorrel, and I like looking at the number 1 Warlike Goddess. The one concern I have with Warlike Goddess is that she's going to have to close into a speed favoring turf course. So if Julian Leproux can get her closer than what she was last time in the Very One Stakes, then I think that's going to help her out here. But as far as Sorrel goes, she's kind of like the one big unknown, right? Christophe Clement's very good with horses when they're first time in North America, first time in his barn. She's been working really well. She's got a very consistent base for her works, which is really nice to see, especially when she's going to be going long. And if you convert her time form ratings from overseas into buyers, she's right there with Always Shopping. So if you're telling me that I get 3-1 versus 4-5, and those speed figures are pretty much right there, the only question left is, can Sorrel handle this kind of racing? And, if William Buick and Ryan Moore and O'Shea Murphy all thought that she was worth riding, I think she's got a chance here.
That was very well said, man. Magic.
Thank you.
He came prepared here. Samich, we'll get to you. Obviously, you guys talked about this on the Magic Mike show. How'd you see this one?
Yeah, it's like he listens to me on the Magic Mike show or something. I was 9-5 here as my top 2 picks, so I do like both of those. I think the horse we haven't mentioned, I agree with Magic on the 1 too. I think Warlike Goddess has a shot. It's specifically, if you look at that last race, Antoinette, the Very One Stakes, Antoinette wires the field. That was when Gulfstream Park's turf was playing just all to speed. There was one horse in that race that closed. The only horse in that race that closed was Warlike Goddess. And that was first off a layoff. You're getting second off a layoff here. That horse was able to close from 10 lengths back to 3 lengths back, and they came home in sub-12s. So absolutely flying toward the end, even with Antoinette out front and wiring the field. I think there's some value in the 1. I think we have to at least mention the 4. We're talking about the pace here. I know that there's a bunch of horses that seem like they like to be in front, but they're like New York speed, where they're going longer and they're not really in front. You've got the 4 horse who was ahead in front of Micheline last time out. Micheline's a really good horse. The 4 horse, I think, is going to get to the lead. And I have a feeling we might have another situation, just like the 8 horse did a couple back, going a mile and a half, where the leader's able to walk the dog out front and kind of get this easy setup. And then all of a sudden you have these horses jostling for position and trying to catch the 4 turning for home. So I think Morning Molly is worth a play here at 10-1 if she stays at that number.
Yeah, I almost threw Morning Molly on here, but I had to go too deep in these other damn races, and so this was the one I had to go short on. I'm with you. This horse at 10-1 is a juicy price. Before I kick it off to Vinny and Papa Dude, there's a daily double suggestion question. Since we're out, what we could do is play a double here. So like the top row, pick 2 horses.
Run it back.
Yeah, the top row, pick 2 horses in this leg. The bottom row, pick 2 horses in the 14th and do a double. You guys up for it? You want to do it?
2x2?
2x2. We'll play it for $5. $20 range.
So we're the turf race, right? We're this one. Well,
yeah.
we have to use always shopping, right? Like there's no question about that, is there?
You don't have to.
I'm talking to the 2 of you. Like there's like.
No, I'm with Magic. I don't know what Aaron's hinting at, but I'm with Magic.
Can I tell you what Aaron's hinting at?
Go ahead. Tell them.
The highest daily double payout with always shopping is $476. But to the logical horses, 9-7 pays $3, 9-9 pays $10, 9-10 pays $20. If you're playing 2 horses in each leg, you have to beat at least 1 favorite, or else it's not even worth betting. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah. So, like, what is, just real quick, Mike, since you're looking at them, what is a 9-9 daily double?
$10. So you bet 20 to win 50 if you're going 2x2.
Yeah.
That's
why I said let's try to beat her.
Let's do what Nick does. Nick Feldman comes on the Magic Mike show all the time and always has great takes. He says just do the 8-9 daily double for 100. So I don't know who wants to pony that up, but I just say we do that.
We're not doing that. No.
Yeah, I'm also not in on that.
Nick, do you want to join the show? You're a lot more fun than these guys.
Oh, come on now. Come on. All right.
That's real nice.
1-1 pays 84.
What is it? Say it again.
1-1 pays 84.
Ooh, 1-1. No, I don't. I'm not gonna play Nova Rags.
4-9 pays 66.
4-9 pays 66. What does 5-9 pay?
24.
And that's for $1.
You keep asking about the wrong horse in the next leg, Aaron.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's do this. What does the 9-8 pay?
46.
Okay, that's interesting.
We didn't even cut. We're already going through sequences. We haven't established 1 horse that we're using in this leg.
I know, that's awesome. I'm just letting the train
Value
go.
is important when you're wagering.
I was going to say, have you ever wagered before? You kind of need to know the will pays before you pick the horses.
No, fair enough.
I don't have time for that.
But my point is, we haven't even established who we want to use yet. That's like we're not even on that. That's my point.
If we're going 2x2, we shouldn't use always shopping. We shouldn't use greatest honor.
Okay. Okay.
So eliminate those 2 and go 2x2, and we're fine.
Ricky, who do you like? Who do you like in this race?
If we're not. Yeah, I'm still. I will stay consistent. I like Delta's Kingdom. I do like the 7.
Okay.
So
Magic, who do you like?
I think I heard he likes the 7. Is that what he said?
At least
Yes.
Magic's listening.
Well,
Who do you
it was
like,
very
Magic?
hard to hear. If I gotta pick you, I gotta give you 1 horse. 1. English Channel. Or Lycotis.
I just
Ricky, you said the 7?
I did.
Delta's Kingdom. I don't hate her.
I think she's gonna. I think Delta Kingdom will hit the board but can't win.
Wait, Aaron. So who do you like?
Yeah, she hasn't won since September 2019.
my top 2 choices are the 9 and the 5. So
the 5 is Sorrel, right? Is that the 5?
Yeah.
yeah.
Magic. What do you think of Sorrel?
I like Sorrel. She was on my ticket. I like the fact that Clement put her in here and not somewhere softer for her first race in North America.
So for the sake of this conversation, we're between the 1, 5, and 7, correct? We've established that. Okay.
Yep.
I can get on board with the 5. I can make that, but if I'm choosing now between the 1 and the 7, Aaron, which way are you going?
Well, the 1. I would choose the 1.
Okay, so I don't love the 7. I do like her a lot. I'll give that up. So we can go 1, 5. I'm okay. 1, 5.
Okay,
Cool.
1,
I
5.
like it. All right, that was easy. You guys are up.
All right, bottom side. So Vinny is going to die on the super sandwich.
I
That's
don't
right.
have to die on it. I'm okay with using. I know like everybody likes Collaborate, and I have Collaborate's my second choice.
Well, the beauty is we can choose 2 horses, Vinny.
Yeah.
So we can have Papa Dude. Who do you like if we're chucking out Greatest Honor? Who are your next 2?
Well, I'm Vinny wants that 8, so we got to go that.
Okay,
Right,
so Vinny, you don't get any more opinions.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll stay with soup and sandwich.
All right, so Papa Dude.
So to me, it's between the 9 and the 10.
Oh, we're same here. I have
Between
the
the 9 and the 10.
Those are my top 2 picks, 9 and 10, in that order. But I'm scared of that Baffert juice, man. Every now and then, it sneaks up on you, and then
You're scared of
they
what?
just don't stop.
He's scared of Baffert.
You're scared of Baffert? Is that what
Yeah.
you said?
Because I like the 9. Let's use
Did
the
you
9.
say you were scared of Baffert?
Yeah, I'm scared of that juice, man. I
I don't care. Because I don't want to
It
bet
got me too
Baffert.
much.
I don't want to bet Baffert.
Okay, let's use the 9 then. Because I also know Aaron's top pick is
I'm
the 9.
scared of that 10, though.
Yeah, me too. But we're let's not
scared of
support
that 10, though.
Let's not support the habit.
Whatever juice gives me heartburn. That's great.
All right,
I've got an idea.
just one.
So, what do you say?
He said just 1.
Yeah, no. We're going to use the 1, 5. Yeah, we're going to use the 1, 5 with the 8, 9. Correct? That's the daily double. Okay, so 1, 5 with 8, 9. Let's see what happens here, and then if we're alive, maybe we can hedge with that Baffert horse everybody's scared of. No.
Well, the price is just going to be too it's just
scares
going to be a bad price.
What'd you say?
I just said it's going to be a bad price. The hedge won't really help us.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding around, Ricky. Just kidding around, having some fun.
Based on the doubles, the Greatest Honor is going to be your favorite. Collaborate's going to be a second choice, probably around 2 to 1.
Really?
Yeah, the 10 horse will probably be around 4 to 1.
Really?
You're looking around 6 to 1 on the 5 horses. The Note Agenda is your third pick, based on the daily double will pace.
That. I said 5 to 2 and 4 to 1 for those 2, for Collaborate and Spielberg.
Wow. Well, I'm a little surprised. Post parade for the Orchid, by the way, as we were debating on this great daily double, they're almost through the post parade, so we're getting close. It's kind of nice that Gulfstream, for the second to last day of the championship meet, did bring back the post-time drag. 0 minutes to post, and we're in the post parade. So
We're all feeling nostalgic. It's great.
I know. Yeah. Feels good. It's
I need
weird,
another
though.
beer. I'll be right back.
It gets okay. Thank you. Okay, it gets to 2 minutes, or it gets to 0, and then they add 2 minutes on the clock. So
Yeah, that's interesting. You know what it reminds me of? It's like when you're shopping and they say, "Oh, it's the last day of the sale," and then you go on and that sale it still says last day for like another week. That's what Gulfstream's doing. They're just going to keep tacking on time until they feel like getting in the gate. They brought it back, old time sake.
yeah, no, that's a good comparison. Listen, I'm gonna make one basketball comment. Nobody else gets to comment on it. Villanova's up 6 right now. 5 minutes left first half. So good start for Villanova. That's it. Nobody comment on. No, Ricky, I see your lips moving. Don't do it.
I was just gonna say it's 4. You're still like minutes behind.
Okay, I warned him, and he did it anyway. All right, so we're gonna kick it here. Papa Dude loves it. We're gonna get the tournament or the tournament play for you, Samich here. Who are you looking for now?
I think the 4 is probably your most logical tournament horse from just a pace perspective. I think the 8 is the other horse that you got to at least talk about at 16 to 1 from a tournament stat perspective. So I think there's a couple of different ways you can go. I think the 1's a logical option. The 9's unplayable. If you're toward the top, I think you can play the 5. But right now, I think this is a race you have to take a shot because, again, if Always Shopping wins, it's a $5 horse. It doesn't hurt you that much. If anyone else wins, it hurts you a little bit no matter where you are in the tournament. So I think this is when you have to take a shot. I would shoot with the 1, the 4, or the 8 probably. If you want to go for just place money, you could take the 7. Honestly, if you really like the 9, I think playing the 9-7 exacta cold is not a bad bet here. Because the Delta, to Ricky's horse, the 7, ran behind the 9 last time out. If you think the 9 is that much better than this field, I could see them running 1-2 again. And that's a better way to play the 9 than just betting it to win at 4-5.
Yeah, I really need this 9. I need it bad. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I need this 9 bad.
My dad and I are 5x6 to close the pick 6. Because he was he loved the 7 horse in the first race. And so we've got a nice one there, and we've got 4x5 to close the pick 5. So I would like a price. I'm not going to lie.
I'm 1x5. So big difference.
I brought you guys some presents. I was a little busy this morning, so I made these are lemon poppy seed and they're glazed donuts.
Ooh.
I made these. So I just realized this is virtual, so I'm going to eat everybody else's, and I'll tell you how good they are, but just know that I meant to bring these for you guys.
Wow.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Like,
Sounds good. It's like watching a cooking. It's like watching a cooking show.
Yeah.
Papa Dude, can you believe this guy up here in the corner is in charge of all the content on the website? I mean, my goodness.
Well, yeah, he's pretty cool. He's all right. He's jumped my ass a couple of times, but that's all right. It doesn't matter to me.
It's okay. If you ever want to get magic,
Hey, I got a question. This is a
space after every period.
Nah, I was kidding. Hey, you guys are great. Hey, listen, I got a question. This is a dumb question, okay? Okay. If I use the same computer to watch a race, will this screw up the picture on here?
No.
I want to go. I can't. So if I get on the same computer on Twin Spires to watch the race,
yes,
this next race, I'll still be on here.
Yes.
Well, I don't know this crap. That's why I had to ask.
Make sure you have 2 windows, though.
Yes, you need a separate tab.
Oh,
if you do,
okay.
And mute your volume. Mute your volume.
Or I just go to another tab, go to Twin Spires, so I can watch the race that Aaron obviously can't call.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Now I can actually watch the race.
That may be
I was afraid I'd mess all you guys up, and I didn't want to do that.
Oh, no.
You're killing magic up there.
Wait, there's another basketball. Wait, there's one basketball and NBA comment. The Nets have signed another free agent.
Who?
LaMarcus Aldridge, a former Longhorn. So the Nets will now be rolling out.
I love that magic.
And they'll still lose in 4 when they get to the finals.
Sorry, Ricky. I was reading across the bottom.
No, that's fine.
We don't have that language Longhorn in this house.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
We got to get her out of there.
The other Seinfeld I thought we were going to bring up, Soup and Sandwich, the Soup Nazi. I thought the Soup Nazi would make
the Soup Nazi.
Yes, I thought the Soup Nazi would make the cut. I thought Vinny would bring it up, but I was waiting. Maybe we could have gotten it.
Well,
I don't want to go.
Are we all Seinfeld geeks? Are we all Seinfeld geeks?
Yeah.
Brett, $2 extra.
Are we?
I wouldn't say geek. I would say I like it, but not a geek. I'm not a big fan, but I like it a little bit.
Oh, I love it.
It is good. It's very good. All right. Not to interrupt the Seinfeld talk. It's great, but we are walking seemingly to the gate for a big race here at Gulfstream Park.
How far away is this gate? Jesus.
That's what we're
here. Other side of the track.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Wow. Here's a good question. Is Aaron going to quit the website if Spielberg wins today? No. Oh, here's a question for Papa Dude. Top 10 shows of all time. All right, talking about, I guess, Seinfeld shows. Name your top one.
Well, I got to go Seinfeld number 1. But
name your top episode. Name your top episode of Seinfeld.
Oh. Lee, that is hard. Soup Nazi definitely is in the top. Oh, my God. There's so many. The one where Kramer bets the horses in the off-track betting? You guys remember that one?
Oh yeah.
That was great when he's over there going, "My mother was a mutter" or something. "My mother was a mutter" or something like that. That one's good. Oh, there's just so
Can't
many.
lose.
Can you guys think of another one? I mean, my God.
Nick
So
Melvin says the opposite.
Elaine when she couldn't dance.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Any of the ones
Yes.
with George when he's at Yankee Stadium.
That was good.
Yeah.
Those are always pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Remember when
I
he
always
built
like the
that
one-
cabinet underneath his hideout?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I always like the one when Kramer starts the rickshaw business, and then he's like he's pulling Newman up the hill, and he sets it down because he gets tired, and you
Right,
don't see
I just thought
it.
of it. Yeah.
You just hear it. You hear him crashing,
Yeah,
and
right.
Kramer's reaction is the whole comedy.
The moth long coats, that's another good one.
Oh, it is. How about the one where Kramer is pulling that man and wife, I think it was George's in-laws around
The in-laws, yep.
in New York City by a horse, and the horse starts backfiring,
Yeah.
and because he fed it beefaroni. Remember that?
They're getting in the gate.
Oh,
They're getting
God.
in the gate.
All right, we gotta go on. We're getting in the
Yeah,
game.
who really cares?
Joshua, we'll get
Okay.
to your question
All right.
here in just a second. After this race, Joshua, we will answer that before the Florida Derby. All right, we're getting in the game here, guys. And here we go. Race 13, the Orchid, mile and 3/8. So this must be a long one. We'll get some commentary as we go here. I think we got one more to load. They're off. Never mind. Let's see. Who's going to go to the front? Boy, there's 4 or 5. It looks like the 8 Bell Laura will take the lead. So the 8 Bell Laura is going to set the pace with the 5. No, I'm sorry. That's the 10 in second, Sister Hanan. So, Sister Hanan's going to run up there and maybe get the lead. Yeah, they're going to sit in that horse. So maybe they've seen how the turf course is playing and says, let's go. So the 10 in the lead, Sister Hanan, the 8 Bell Laura. It'll be third back to Morning Molly. Just real quick for the Morning Molly fans, Samich, maybe to kick it to you. Do you like this spot for her?
I do. I mean, I would have liked her in the lead, but this is not a bad spot considering the pace that they're going up front. I'm surprised she's 7-1. She walked in the gate at 11-1, out at 7-1.
Yeah.
So nice. The big chunk of money came down that 4 right at the end of the wagering.
Yeah, very much so. And if you like the 9, which I need to have, it's in a good spot. So I can't argue with where the 9's at. Sitting right there by Morning Molly in third, fourth. They're kind of trading off now in fourth for Always Shopping. So good stocking trip. 48.55 for the half. Listen,
Are we
the leaders
1-5?
are good enough. They're going to be hard to pass here.
Are we 1-5 on our ticket?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The 5 Sorrel sitting in about 6th, and then the 1 right behind on the rail in about 7th. So 113.83.
They slowed this down a lot.
Yep.
So 2 quarters.
This horse is going to be, they're going to be tough to pass if it plays how we've seen it all day.
He's still pretty. He's still pretty high on the 10 too.
The 9, though, is ranging up. The 9 is within range, and that's the good news there. Always Shopping, but here comes that 10. He's the 10, Sister Hanan starting to separate. Here comes the 9, Always Shopping. There's some other horses moving too. The 9 is to the 10's throat lash. The 9's taking the lead. Come on, please hold on. The 7, here comes that 7, Delta's Kingdom. Here comes the 1. No, please don't be. Please hold on, 9. Please hold on, 9. Please hold on, 9. Oh, God.
Nope. I think the one.
We got her. We got the 1. We got the 1.
I think the one got it.
Oh, that got real
Samich, that
tight.
was awesome. We were both so high on her on our show. That was so cool.
Yep, I think the one got her.
That was very, very close. That was the only horse closing again, just like the
My
last
God,
race.
that move
That was
in
the
the
only
turn.
horse that was closing. I don't know if she won the photo though. That was very.
The photo was definitely tight. We'll see. They're not showing.
Pete didn't waver. He said Warlike got us.
Did he? I'm not listening. I was listening to Aaron's wonderful call instead of the track call.
The Naira stream flashed the 9, but they've been wrong before.
But Naira been wrong never.
Yeah, let's see.
9.
Good
9,
God.
9. 1 easy.
That's
That's one.
That's the one.
That's definitely
Unless
the one.
it is just a horrid bob, it's the 1.
Yeah.
Well, that's good for our double, but
She got hammered down to 5-1.
Yeah, I switched off the one in my tournaments. I'm kind of frustrated by that.
Oof.
Oh well. Wait,
no, it's
that's actually pretty close.
Yeah, that's close because right after it's a step after the wire. The one definitely is in front, but on the wire, I think the photo is gonna be closer than you think.
Jockeys don't know either. They're talking to each other. Did you get it? I don't know.
Well, they showed who's ever on Always Shopping. Look back when the one was coming.
Yep.
Irad, right?
Just ride, you jerk. Sorry. Not you, Vinny. All right.
No, Irad's a jerk because he didn't ride that horse that finished third behind Basin.
Oh man, there's a lot. There's little issues there.
Yeah,
Little? Are you kidding me? That was.
Aaron sent me that.
I put it in the recap.
By the way, either way, this one horse
Yeah.
could be a very good horse. Warlike
There's
Goddess,
the one, unofficial, number one.
Yep.
Warlike Goddess could be an excellent horse.
Yep. Well, here's the deal. Warlike Goddess won this race today and won this race. I mean, the 9 ran huge, and the 1 just came and got her. That was a very, very good performance. A pat on the back there. That was really, really good.
Then we move on in the double. Isn't that
Listen,
great, Aaron?
we did our job on this row. It's all up to y'all.
I'm thrilled.
You know, I'm interested to see what this super pays. That's a really playable super.
It is.
Yeah.
Because if you like the 9, you kind of have to like the 7 underneath. And the 1 and the 5 were the 2 logical newcomers that were really playable.
Yeah.
Yep. No doubt. It
You
is.
could've-
Ricky,
like,
you're
you could
7
have boxed the
ran
top
well,
3.
Ricky.
Yeah, all the other, the 7 to Samich's point, I think the best possible race maybe can get him to the winner's circle, but it's probably where we easily could have hit that super.
Yeah.
Like it should pay pretty well.
Yep. Jared chimes in the making it rain long shot pick. That's right. That was Jared's making it rain long shot pick. Warlike Goddess. Very good pick, man. It's crazy because even though the 9 took that lead, you look back corner of the eye and it's like, yeah, you're gonna lose. Like I knew all along the horse was gonna lose. So because the 1 was just flying.
I put my finger up middle of the stretch with just the 1 on it. You could see that horse starting to churn. And like when you're closing into this track and at this that was a nice turn of foot. And this is the second time this horse has closed into a speed favoring track with a horse that got loose by multiple lengths. This could be a very good horse for Bill Mott. And this is a lightly raced horse. It's only the 4th race of this horse's career. Like this could be a Breeders' Cup type horse.
Yep. I agree.
Were you really doing this? Because I was doing this.
Yeah.
I was watching TVG, but I was doing this because I knew the 1 was going to get there. Or I thought the 1 was going to get there.
Can I make one comment that we didn't touch on?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. It's about Villanova being up 30-23 at half. Way to go, Papa Dude! I played the first half. Plus 4.5, baby.
Never listen to me.
The race was won in that first turn when Sister Hanan pushed Bellora. I think that's an extremely overlooked aspect of this race because that speed fell apart. What if the 10, for the sake of the conversation, what if the 10 just sits and they're not pushing each other and it's slower in the first quarter to the half originally? They did slow it up, but I'm saying what if it's slower originally? I'm not saying the 1's not good. That's not what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with the 1. I just think that race really set itself up for a big-time closer because they really duped itself out. Did anyone think – that was like my initial thought right away. I was like, we have a closer because the 2 top speed that probably aren't good enough. No one talked about Bellora. No one talked about Sister Hanan. Put themselves did anyone think that? Did anyone look at that angle after the race was over? Did anyone think the same thing or no?
No, never crossed my mind, to be honest.
I didn't think either of them had a shot.
I think that Always Shopping would have gotten them both because of where she was sitting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think that would have been tough for them to beat.
No, not that. No, not them winning. Maybe the question was posed wrong. Not them winning. I'm saying did that type of setup, them dueling each other a little bit early, help the 1? Like I think they kind of did the 1 a favor. I don't think they were winning either. I'm just saying I think they won a big favor.
Of course it helps.
Yeah, that was my initial thought. Like, wow, these 2 did a great job for the 1. That was my initial thought.
Yeah, I mean, it helped for sure, but they I don't know. I'd have to watch it again. I don't really feel like they were. I don't know. I have to watch it again. I don't want
It
to say
didn't seem
something.
like they went like they didn't go like super fast. I mean, it could be the difference between the photo. I mean, to your point.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the difference of the photo, because the photo we couldn't call right away. So if we're talking inches, I definitely think it made a difference in inches.
Yeah.
And that would have Aaron alive. I mean, so I'm not even talking about that point. To Mike's point, I think the 9 would have won probably anyway. But no, it probably would have been 9-1, right? Had they not went even a fifth of a second slower.
Well, that kind of sucks, but yeah, that's just rough. Maybe moved a little too soon for the 9. I don't know. I really can't make any excuses. One just came and got her. It was a hell of a race. We move on. Before we go, we got some time. There was a question. Hey guys, what is your favorite betting winning angle? Trying to think what he might mean by that. What is your favorite angle as far as handicapping, or what is your favorite wager to make? We'll just do this real quick because we have time before the Florida Derby. Magic, what's your favorite angle and handicapping, and what's your favorite wager to make?
Favorite wager is probably the pick 4 or the pick 3. I like doing rolling pick 3s. Those are fun. So that's probably my favorite. And my favorite angle, I like to pick whoever Ricky is not using. That's who I like to use.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, it's okay, Ricky. Don't cry.
My favorite. Whoa! No, I take offense to that. I'll have my turn. Go ahead.
It's okay. Well, the adults will speak, then we'll get to you. I think that probably my favorite angle. I like trainer angles. That's my favorite. Is the trainers are entering the horses. They're the ones that are responsible for trying to get those horses to produce money, so the owners will keep giving the trainers horses. So I would say what trainer angles are doing. That's generally my favorite. Mike, how about you?
Speed, baby. Speed. To me, that's the number one thing to look for. If you have a horse that's going to get loose on the lead, it's the easiest way to get a good trip, is not to have to go around anybody. You're up front. So as long as the pace is light, I think that's the best way to go. So I think that when I start handicapping any race, I start with the speed and what the pace is going to be, because I think that's the best way to kind of kick it off and be able to get to prices that other people aren't looking for.
All right, we skipped Ricky, so we'll go back to Ricky.
Magic, can I go? Okay. No, for me, it's speed switching from dirt to turf. And I think the speed really gets it. So to Mike's point, like kind of similar, but I think that speed, especially with cheap speed, like if they're dropping in class and now they're going to make a switch, not only do we sometimes have to take a guess, but I think that speed could really be accelerated when we go to the grass. Obviously, Gulfstream certainly helps. So that's what I like to look at. If there's like a 6 furlong that might get into like a 5 furlong on the turf, that's like one of my favorite angles to play.
Yeah, I think speed a big thing. Vinny, I'll kick it to you.
I like horses stretching out on the turf. I like turf racing. Like horses going from a mile to a mile and a 16th. Especially like with like Mike Maker, like Magic's point, trainer angles. Mike Maker stretching out on the turf might be like my all-time favorite angle.
Yeah, I agree. Cross-border loss though, so I'm mad.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Churn and burn one. We had that horse. All right, Papa Dude. Favorite angle when handicapping?
Well, I can't believe I'm going to agree with Magic, but I love to bet pick 3s too. I think they're cool because I get some of them, and I like that. You don't make a lot of money sometimes, but they're fun. And I'm just like Magic too. I do trainers, and I don't know if this guy that called in is an expert or not, but to me, I think if you're just starting out, you need to zero in on one track and watch it, because you can learn so much watching one track. And then you get to look at the trainers and you see how they work, and you can figure a lot of stuff out. But, I'm not like you guys, but that's fine. That's what you guys do. I watch Oaklawn, and I can tell you things just from watching Oaklawn, just from watching the trainers on how they do. So I would recommend you do that, and you can learn a lot just watching one track. And you can really start to figure some things out.
And to piggyback on that comment, I can't speak for everybody on the feed, but that's kind of how I learned it too. You follow one circuit, you follow one track, you get comfortable, you read those trainer angles and what's going on, and then you can expand once you kind of learn that one. But I think that's a really good piece of advice. The biggest problem I think horse racing has is for new people is you go to like an OTB or something and there's 100 tracks running and you just don't know what to do. When you start off, single out one track and keep it simple and just kind of experiment with what you like to do, what you like to wager on. And this thing, I'll touch on one other thing before we go on to the Florida Derby. This game, it's mental. A lot of it is mental, and you've got to find your wagering strategy that you're going to be able to sleep at night if you lose, because well, I was comfortable with the bets, and that's what happened. Me personally, I have a hard time playing pick fours and pick fives every day because it's a lot of losing. You're going to lose more than you win. I had to curtail it to let's bet winners. I like to bet winners because at the end of the day, you're probably going to hit a few, and maybe you're ahead, maybe you're even, but in the grand scheme of things, for me mentally, that's how I can survive and play this day after day. As far as handicapping angles, I really think it's a combination of the type of horse, who's riding it, and who's training it. There's certain types of horses that jockeys do well on, and there's certain types that they don't. And I think that's a very big angle. And how do you learn those angles? You watch a track and you notice it day after day. So I think that's a pretty good answer there. I always think it's important to answer.
And I had one more thing, Aaron.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But I'll tell you another thing, guys. Handicapping takes a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's hard work, and a lot of people don't like to do that.
You got to stop.
Why they like to do what now?
Go ahead, so much.
What'd you say, Mike?
Go ahead.
I was not good at this for 5 years before I got good at it. Like, that's the thing. Like, you have to put the time in. And like if you just try and jump in a day or a week,
you have refined your craft.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get good at it until 3 years ago when I started becoming profitable. Before that, I was not good.
Well, just to piggyback off that, we started the website. Jared and I started the website in 2013, I believe, and I followed it for that'd be 6 years before I was confident enough to even put anything out there. And trust me, from 2013 to now, it's been a lot more. I've learned a lot more. You never stop learning in this game. Never. And when you do, you're done. Always have to keep learning. You always have to follow it. You always have to keep an eye on the trends, the new trainers, the new jockeys. Magic, to kick to you just real quick, the apprentice rider that you interviewed.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. We got 5 minutes to Jeff Ruby Stakes.
Yeah.
So we've got a big time Kentucky Derby prep. So I thought it'd be a good idea to at least address that. But it was a great question. I think it's really important because everyone got to different places on this stream to where they are in different ways. I mean, we've all taken different routes, but so we can come back to it. But I do want to make sure we at least mention the Jeff Ruby Stakes here. It's a 100-point Kentucky Derby race. We got about 4 minutes. Aaron, I know you handicapped. Did you have any plays you like here?
I hated this race with a passion. I hate Churchill Downs for making this 100-point race. What a joke. I'm really upset about it. You're going to get 2 horses in the gate here that are automatic chucks. I don't care who wins it. I'm chucking them. I don't care who's second. I'm chucking them. So there's my rant on that. I kind of like the King at 6-1. I thought that horse was interesting. Ran pretty good in the local prep for here. The Tarantino, the 7 horse coming from Florida up to here, it's definitely a drop down in class. And this is a turf horse. In my opinion, this horse does its best running on the turf. We're on the synthetic here at Turf Way. So, obviously is something. One horse, and I can't believe I'm saying it, keep an eye on this horse. Smiley Sobotka is how I would say it, but all the announcers say Sobotka. Smiley Sobotka, Romans does not have a Derby horse. We're getting late in the game here. Maybe this horse can win, or at least get second and get Romans in. So at 30-1, I wouldn't hate it. I don't like the horse at all, but at 30-1, did anybody else handicap this?
I did a little bit.
Some of us wrote a preview for your website, Aaron.
Well, let's go to you then, Magic. Let's go to you first, then Vinny.
I like Gretzky the Great here. I liked him in the Battaglia. It was his first time trying to race down here. But he isn't named it yet, but he's going to be Canada's champion 2-year-old colt. And they're trying this out to see if maybe a Derby Trail run before the Queen's Plate is going to work. But it's Mark Casse, second off the layoff, and the Battaglia. He was running, it kind of reminded me of the Risen Star a little bit with Midnight Bourbon, where he was on the front end, but he was being pushed really hard with the sprinter there, and it kind of wore him out a little bit in the end. Gretzky the Great had that happen last time out in the Battaglia, which is that local prep, and he was third behind Light the King, who Aaron really likes here. So I think that he's got a really good chance to improve here, and I think if he gets going longer, if he doesn't have that pace pressure, I think it sets up really well for him. The only concern I have, Aaron, is that 10 post. I don't know what it's like at Turfway Park. I don't really ever follow it that much, but that outside post going 2 turns does worry me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he just ran terrible in that race. I thought he should have won last time out. So I love the name. Hopefully he gets the job done. Vinny, you said you handicapped this one a little bit. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with both of you. Those are actually my top 2 picks. I think they both should improve off that last effort. I do like Gretzky the Great a little bit more. But I also thought Pletcher shipping in was a little bit interesting. He shipped a couple up here in the past, and I don't think they've won, but they've run decent. So at 12-1, I was willing to give Sainthood, I believe. Yeah, Sainthood. 12-1. I would use him.
I kind of like that pedigree too. I think it's more of a turf pedigree than a dirt pedigree.
Yeah,
the son of Magla d'Oro, and that I like quite a bit, and I always butcher this name, in Mashawish, who I think is one of the better turf sires that we're going to see up and coming kind of turf sires. And you got Levin Drop Kid on the bottom. The horse should like the synthetic quite a bit. I think it's interesting that Pletcher ships in here. Horse went off even money to maiden special weight. And we haven't seen a Pletcher horse really explode yet on the Derby scene. I wouldn't be shocked if this horse runs pretty big here.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, it seems like Pletcher kind of knows this horse probably is not a dirt horse. So, like, he's one of those horses that, like, I'm sure they try the Derby either, like, if they win. But it seems like one of those that's, like, would be, like, a half-hearted effort. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he won and they didn't go. Just because he definitely seems like he's meant for the turf.
Well, you meant for the turf. You can win this race for sure.
I'd love it if Tarantino made it into the Derby after he leaves the Bob Baffert barn. Yeah. Like, he never tried dirt with Baffert, and then he goes to Brissett because they give up on him. And now look
Baffert's not good on turf. It's an interesting angle to say that, if Baffert starts a horse on turf, that horse is way better on turf, like way better, because he's not good on turf. So it's interesting to think that now this horse gets on synthetic. You could see a big time step forward, and Rudy Brissett, he's a Magic Mike Homie. We like that guy on our show, so I could see him running big here.
This race, usually the horses you think are going to win don't ever win at this track, and especially at this race. So if you want to play a bomb here, go for it. They have been walking around here. I mean, these horses have got to be dizzy. They have walked in a circle for like 10 minutes. Just load the race. Like, I don't know what you're doing here.
They want to make sure Sanita's fifth gets off.
Yeah, maybe. So we're 10 minutes of the Florida Derby, and we're sitting here watching these horses walk around in a circle. But that's all right.
The sire is Mashawish. Mashawish. That's how we pronounce it.
Mashawish. Nailed it.
Yeah. You weren't way off, but it's Mashawish. Okay.
It really is Mashawish. Okay, because he was before my time too. I didn't know how to say it either.
That's all I know. That's all I'm adding. I don't know. I didn't look at the race, but I know it's Mashawish. That's all.
Is there anybody on a fantasy team in this race? Is Smiley Sambuca still on somebody's team or no?
Yeah, Smiley Sambuca is on that game.
I want Sambuca horse. Whoever has that horse, that's what I want. I want Smiley Sambuca.
That's how good the field is that Vinny got the name wrong and it sounded correct. We're like, yeah, sure, that's probably a horse running the goddamn Jeff Ruby Stakes for fucking 100 points for the Derby.
I don't know who this Sambuca horse is, but that's who I want. That's
whatever. Whatever, guys.
That horse.
I'm not making fun of you, Vinny. I'm making fun of the Jeff Ruby Stakes.
Yeah.
I just want.
By the way, it's the Jeff Ruby Stakes. STEAKS.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Just shouldn't be 100-point. The fact that it's a 100-point race is just crazy.
It shouldn't be a 10-point race.
Because Churchill's trying to build up Turfway.
Yeah, it's a medium rare race.
This is at Turfway?
It's a medium rare
Turfway is a 100-point race?
Yeah, have you ever watched a race from Turfway, Papa Dude?
No.
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 Why
Well,
would
they got
I?
to give the El
Come
Camino
on.
Royale Derby. It has to be a 100-point race too, then, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Why
Well,
can't Melbar win a
They
100
make
point
up for
race?
it. Instead of being 100 points, you get an automatic entry into the Preakness. That's how they balance that out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rombauer's
okay.
going to the
Next-
Bluegrass. So
It's gonna, next year, the Springboard Mile is going to be 100 points. So
that's
Well,
fighting words, Vinny. Don't do that.
I do want to add.
the Springboard Mile.
I do want to add. Aaron, you have
Jackass.
8 minutes to Gulfstream. We're probably looking at 15, so we got time.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be
No.
8 minutes anyway. I'm looking. I say 6:41. That's when we go off.
Has anyone ever seen a 11 horse field where 5 of the horses are 60 to 1 or higher?
no.
Like, can we just take a second to appreciate? We've got 3 99 to 1 shots in the Florida Derby here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's
All
crazy.
right. We're almost loaded here.
Really?
Can I call this one?
Call it? Yeah, call it.
All right.
Oh yeah. There we go.
I might be a little bit behind because I'm watching
Oh.
TV, but I'll give it a shot.
They're off.
You're out. Then.
You can't see. It looks like a pretty poor start from Tarantino. It looks like Gretzky the Great's going to get out to the lead. The 3 outside horses, Dynamite and Hockey Dad, will look to pursue. But here comes Sainthood, the Todd Pletcher trainee. There is Moonlight Strike. So Moonlight Strike is going to break this field to the first turn. It's a pretty compact field with Hard Rye Guy taking some money. And there is Tarantino well back.
Tarantino's not compact.
He bobbled, Brad. He looked like he
Here's
bobbled that
Moonlight
break.
Strike, though. Moonlight Strike in a lead about a length and a half, and then it's Gretzky the Great now making a little bit of a move, going to cut that lead down to about a length and a quarter as Moonlight Strike at 22 to 1 leads them to the backstretch. 22 and 4 is the first quarter. That lead is strong, and we're getting a tough hold trying to keep Moonlight Strike from walking away. And here's Gretzky the Great slowly maneuvering his way up, as well as Hockey Dad. Hockey Dad has plenty of room to get to if they're going to make a 3-wide move. And Sainthood now continues to progress, but Moonlight Strike, 46 and 4. Moonlight Strike now gets the ass to go, getting pumped a little bit as Gretzky the Great still in hand.
Yeah,
Mark
Gretzky the Great
Cassie,
looks like he's
Landeros,
going to.
and that is the end of Moonlight Strike's day. Gretzky the Great goes by. Here's Hockey Dad trying to make a move, and Hockey Dad now draws up even with Gretzky the Great. On the far outside is Dynamite, and we have another move. And here making a far move on the outside is the 9, Hard Rye Guy. Hard Rye Guy trying to make a move, and here is Gretzky the Great and Hard Rye Guy. Hockey Dad in the middle, and a little bumping to the outside.
The
and
one is flying.
One.
And here comes Like the King. Like the King strikes the front.
Come on.
Oh, Sainthood. Sainthood re-rallying. Sainthood with the re-rally.
Sainthood, Like the
Oh.
King, and Like the King is going to win the Jeff Ruby Stakes. That's STEK. The Great 3, and Like the King will find himself into the Kentucky Derby picture.
Pletcher's got
called
the Derby horse.
Like the King and Sainthood. Maybe Todd Pletcher found his best horse.
Oh, P.S. We're going to have an inquiry here.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
one's
There
coming
will
down.
be-
There's no way the
One's
one
coming
doesn't.
down.
One
No,
cannot stand up.
come on.
You can't
There
stand.
will
Did you
be
see it knock the
equally-
9 sideways? You can't do that.
He knocked the 5 side or the 1 sideways.
It's going to be on the 9.
The one
Hard
interfered
Rye
with the
Guy.
5 and the 9.
It'll be on the 9, Hard Rye Guy.
We'll see.
You guys
I
really
think
think
it's-
the one's coming down?
It's
I don't think
Turfway.
so.
They probably won't even look at it. Gonna throw that out there. They might not even look at this.
They just
That's
got
true. I
the
don't know
grill
anything
going.
about them.
They just got the grill going. They turned the grill on now. That they're done for the night.
1, 5, 12, 9.
I think
Boy, Gretzky looked good until he didn't.
he looked good. He looked. Yeah, he
That's
turned.
a nice exacta. Dude,
Papa,
that was-
how'd I do? How'd I do, Papa Dude?
Hey, you were
He's not
great.
inspired.
Really good.
You
did a good
Do you
job.
see those fractions?
One.
13-second final furlong, 25 and a half to get to the mile.
They were hustling early, though.
They were really quick, like 22 and 9-3 quick. So I'm not surprised.
Oh,
There it is.
You
Sorry.
knew that was coming.
They
Come
put it
on.
up.
Why does
They put
everybody
it
got
up.
hate on Drayden? Drayden has to leave California because the judges there hate him. Now he comes to Kentucky.
So
Oh,
what? So
so-
they to the what? They'd move the 1. They moved the 1, the 4th. So your exact it would be 5-12.
Yeah,
Someone's got
5-12,
$100 on the 5 to win. So
You
I'm a little
do?
biased in this.
You have
I
$100
got-
bucks on him?
Jesus, how much?
I have the exacta and the try if they don't move it.
Hey,
I
Samich,
don't
how do you
have
say
the
that? How
nine
do you say the
anywhere.
fives? How do you say the fives? Sire.
Yeah, he didn't listen.
Money, homie.
Yeah,
didn't listen.
I have a 50-cent try if they don't move this, but if they move it, I don't have this 9 anywhere. Oh, they just dropped it on the Naira stream.
Yeah,
The objection sign. They didn't move it.
Oh.
It's Turfway.
I think that's the right call.
No objection again. It's out
Nope.
again.
Throw it back up. This is going to be a roller coaster.
This
I love
place
it.
is such horseshit.
Let me make some popcorn. This is gonna be a show.
If I get DQ'd out of this, it's just not my day. So much is on mute. You're on mute.
Now they're showing the replay. I had a whole thing about how they just have the order up. They're not even showing the freaking replay. Now they're showing the replay of where the one interferes with both the 5 and the 9.
Oh, the 9.
Oh no, the 9. The 9 looked like he caused that.
He did it
was the
first.
objection. The 9 should have been the objection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look
no,
at
the one's staying.
The one bumps the crap out of the 5 though before the 9. Anything happens with the 9.
Oh no,
Tom,
this
it's
one
all-
is this
I am
one
biased.
is this
and
one
the
is
5 should be put up.
the one is wide.
No, it's the 9.
The 9 cut in front of the 5. Yeah.
The
I don't
9
think
bump
that's
830. Okay.
Yeah, this looks like the 9. It looks like the 5 tried to fit between the 2, and the 9 comes over, hits the 1, and then cuts back in front of the 5.
I think this is a terrible angle.
This is pretty bad.
I think they're going to leave it as is.
They don't have.
I think the 9 cost the 5 the win. I think the 5. I think the 5 probably wins this race if the 9 doesn't cut in front of him twice.
Oh, ooh, that was bad. Yeah, it's the 9.
Yeah,
The 9.
from the head on. I mean, if
Yeah.
the 5 is able to get through that hole, he probably wins.
He wins for fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he re-rallied.
Yeah, he literally got stopped and re-rallied into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
oh well.
I'm happy. Listen, it's all about me, guys. And I was feeling pretty down after all shopping got beat, but I'm feeling good again. So I just got hissed at.
I have to say, this is one of the worst replay angles I've seen.
What replay angle they show on the Naira stream? They're showing the head on.
Yeah,
that's
they
all.
need to show the pan with the head on and side by side. That's the way you do it. So you can actually see, because here the 1 is completely boxed them in, but the 9 does cross over.
Yeah.
And I guess the 1 has the right to the path. So you can't say that the 1 has to give the 5 room, right?
Oh, it's the 5 and the 1
Yeah.
is what they're looking at. They're not even looking at the 9.
Yeah, the 1 won't let the 5 out. And then, let the 5 out's the key. The 5 didn't have a path.
I'm going to fight somebody.
Yeah, I mean, if they switch this, I would be shocked.
I am not watching the 12th race from Turfway if they switch this.
I am warning you.
I wasn't.
The longer this takes.
I'm not watching it anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the 12th at Turf Play anyway.
I'm surprised they're not looking at the 9.
They
That's
just don't care. The
Well,
9
who's the
they don't
9?
care at all.
Every horse involved beat the 9. So you're not going to move the 9 down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there should still be a red light flashing to indicate that they're looking at it.
Why? He's not moving.
They don't care.
Will not change. Zero chance.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we watched this race. We could be talking about other things now.
We could be talking about the
Shouldn't have
Florida
stopped
Derby.
at that
This is going to
train.
be.
I
this,
screwed it up.
do
Anyway,
we want to talk about how this
Yeah.
is going to be more exciting than the Florida Derby because somebody will air the field in the Florida Derby and that will be like we'll just be like this is.
I just hope it's not
there's-
greatest honor. Just don't air the field greatest honor.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're still looking at this. The longer they look at this, the more likely
The
this
longer
horse
they-
goes down.
They're like, well, Todd Pletcher really shipped in. Like, should we put him up? Like, maybe he'll come back if we put him up. Like,
I just don't see a world where the 1 comes down.
I don't either.
Me
I don't either.
The 5 was the better horse. So by the best horse people argument, the 5 should win the race.
Agreed.
This is how long it's taking that someone actually asked because Jeff Ruby's messing us up.
All right.
We're a minute.
Let's move on to the Florida Derby. Let's move on to it.
We're a minute. They're doing the post parade now.
Yeah, we're not a minute. We're not a real minute. We're a fake minute.
Yeah. We're in the post
Can
parade.
I go first, Aaron?
Yeah, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
You faded out on me.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting out. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Because I think this might be a teaching moment. I know. I think this might be a teaching moment for everybody. Okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, me handicapping the way I do, I see no way the 7 loses, and you guys don't like him. So I'd like for you to go through it because I totally respect what you guys say. I mean, I look at him. He's on paper. He's far and away the best as far as I see it, and I bet a lot of people do too. So
Yeah.
you know, for you guys to explain your angles on these other horses because I think we can learn a lot from you guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh.
Go ahead, Vinny. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go. I mean, I agree with on paper he's the best horse. There's no question. I actually was texting Aaron earlier this week. Even like if you look at thoroughgraphs, he's the best 3-year-old. It's not even like he's the best horse in this race. Thoroughgraph wise, he is the best 3-year-old that there is. I'm just looking for at 6 to 5. I'm looking for value to try to beat him. And if I'm playing the race to win place or just playing a win ticket, there's no value at him at 4 to 5. But for exactas, I'm definitely using him with some of the prices that I like because there is a bit of value there. But I mean, I agree with you as the best horse in the race, 100%. Just from a wagering standpoint, he's kind of like. I mean, you got other prices early on in the sequence that you needed.
So what you're saying, right. So what you're saying is you like him, but at that price, you can't make any money on him, right? I mean, that's what you're thinking is.
Correct.
Right.
So I dislike him. So let me take a swing.
Because I couldn't bet him either.
I think he's a paper tiger. And I say that because first off, he lost to Known Agenda in a maiden special weight. So he's already lost to someone in this field. Since then, the horses he's beat is Dynamic One, Another Duke, Tarantino, Prime Factor, Drain the Clock, and Papatino. Okay, none of those horses in this race are under 15 to 1. And the only horse that showed up is Papatino. The fact that Drain the Clock, who runs second, and all he has to do is really run top 4 here to get in the Derby gate, decides not to come back the race. And not only that, you have the trainer of that horse, Safi Joseph, bring another horse in here, and the 9-horse collaborate to take him on. I think tells you quite a bit about how he feels. The fact that you have Baffert chipping in tells you how Baffert feels about this horse. And on top of that, I think that that Fountain of Youth race, it was not good. I mean, if you watch that race back, Greatest Honor around the turn is sucking wind. And they came home in 27 seconds for the final quarter of a mile. I mean, they were crawling home, and that's why Drain the Clock got caught. He just stopped. It wasn't Greatest Honor that ran by him. So in a race where I think you're going to see less pace than that Fountain of Youth, I don't think he's going to have anything to run into, and I think it's going to be awfully tough for him to be able to beat horses who I think are better. I think there's 3 horses in this race better than anyone who was in the Fountain of Youth outside of possibly Greatest Honor. So for me, I don't like him. If he's 5 to 1, I think he's worthwhile, and I used him on my deep stuff because I didn't want to necessarily get beat by him. But I would take the 1, I would take the 9, I would take the 10. I mean, I think the 5 and the 8 are also interesting, all over the 7, especially at this price.
I'll kick it off now.
Well, that's why I threw that out there.
Yeah. Well,
that's why I threw that out there because I want to get you guys' take on it.
Yeah. So let me kick it to myself now. I think he's the second best horse in the race. I really think this 9 is the real deal. You look at that race last time out, the maiden special weight, and I know this is a huge jump up in class, and I know it's a tough test going 2 turns, but this horse just has the look of a really good horse. He aired in that maiden special weight field. Safi Joseph said this is a once in a lifetime horse, and Safi Joseph's not a guy that just goes bragging about his horses all that often. And then I think Mike touched on it. The speed in this race is Collaborate, and my theory is if Collaborate gets out on an easy lead, he's not going to come back to Greatest Honor. And I think these horses in front of Greatest Honor are going to have to be slowing down. I'm not going to use the word significantly, but they're going to have to be slowing down some for him to catch them. And that's why I went with Collaborate on top. Ricky, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm all over Greatest Honor. And the reason being is we talked about, or maybe Magic did, Aaron, I think you did too, trainers and kind of how they progress with horses, or like for Baffert, for example, he's very like, I'm going to get him geared up for 4 months or 5 months. And Shug, in my opinion, is one of the best at letting them start where they need to and slowly progressing. I believe Greatest Honor still potentially can get a little bit better. Now, to Mike's point, everything he said is fair. What he's beaten has been relatively dog crap. I don't know how else to say it, but dog crap. I'm looking at a horse like Collaborate. I don't know what Benny from the Bronx at full court press are either. That's fair. I think you can make that what have they beaten case with a lot of horses. So I don't like using that angle. Now, that angle does apply in a positive way for a horse like Spielberg because we know what Medina Spirit is, or Medina Spirit, whatever you want, an essential quality, the great one. Like, we kind of know what those horses are, so I think that's a fair point. But to someone to use, I don't know, like, just in terms of Collaborate, to use that point on Collaborate, I mean, in a negative way for Greatest Honor, I would use it in a negative way for Collaborate as well. That I'm not saying Collaborate can't run. I'm just saying I think it's like people don't like they only like to make that angle when it's a horse they don't like. But when it's a horse they do like, they'll say, well, they won by 12 lengths. I can make the same point that some of those maiden horses could end up in for a tag someday. So
you're totally right. You're totally right. To me, the fact that the horse who finished third in the Fountain of Youth is 50-1 in this race, and the horse that finished second in the Holy Bull just ran off the board in the Jeff Ruby Stakes, to me furthers the argument that
no, that's fine.
He shouldn't. That the new shooters have a legit shot at making out like that. That furthers the 4-5 argument to me. Now I don't disagree with you. He beat who he beat, and you can't take anything away from him. So I don't want to say that. But 4-5 is. I
completely agree. Aaron, real quick before you go, I just don't like people that make the point against one horse, and when you make it against their horse that they like, they throw it out the window. That's all I'm saying. So if I'm going to use it for Greatest Honor, I'll throw it right back in your face with Collaborate. Not you, Mike, just in general. Like,
no, it's a legit argument. The difference is 4-1 and 4-5.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are giving him credit for winning graded stakes against horses that I don't think are graded stakes level at that 2-turn distance. And the Collaborate beat nothing in the maiden special weight, but it was a maiden special weight. And so I understand what you're saying. Like, but to me, it's one of those. It's the paper tiger argument. It looks better to win back-to-back graded stakes on paper than the fields that he actually beat.
No, and I agree. And the value obviously has a lot to play with it. I'm just talking about that pure angle alone, not the prices, nothing like that or way to play it. That just bothers me a lot. And it's not here. It's everywhere across the country. Everyone tries to make that argument, but they don't like it when it's on their horse.
Here's a point just strictly from a betting standpoint. And I think Samich, I didn't even think about this till you said it. The horses coming out of that race last time out are balloon prices, right? Like but then you have Greatest Honor coming out of that race. He's a lower price than he was in the Fountain of Youth. So that's just another aspect of it's all about how much do I like this horse and how short of a price am I going to take? Do I like Greatest Honor? Sure. I don't have any, I mean, that's not really true. I do have some things against him, but I don't hate him. But I can't play him at 4-5. If I'm going to bet a horse at 4-5 to win, he better really be, or she better really be a standout on paper. In my opinion, this horse is not.
He has to win 60 out of 100 times to be profitable at 4-5. Yeah. 60 out of 100. That's a lot.
Yep, it is. And who knows?
It's got to be like Monomoy Girl, right? Like, that's a horse that you back at 4-5. If you don't feel like this is a Monomoy Girl against this field type of an effort, then you can't play her.
Well, it almost – go ahead, Ricky. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say to Magic's point, like, we know what Monomoy Girl is. Mm-hmm. Like, to Mike's point, we might not know what Greatest Honor is. He could be a paper tiger. Do you want to bet a paper tiger at 4-5, or do you want to beat a champion at 4? Not beat a champion, sorry, bet a champion. So I just attack on it. I think knowing what you are has a lot to do with that. So Monomoy Girl 4-5, I think we would all run to the windows and take 4-5 on her. Like, we would love that price because we know what she is and how consistent. So not every 4-5 is the same 4-5.
But like also looking at you're saying like the other horses from coming from that race are ballooned. I mean, they should be. I mean, he beat him he beat the rest very easily. I mean, without draining the clock. I mean, he beat the rest very easily. So I mean, the new shooters look good because the horses that you already know Greatest Honor is better than with however you say the 11's name, and he beat them easily.
Well, so, he beat Pepetu by 4 lengths. 4 lengths is the difference between 4-5 and 50-1.
The way he did it, yeah. I mean, that was. I wouldn't. I mean,
I'm with Mike there. There shouldn't be that drastic of a difference because I made the point with that Delta's Kingdom horse who ran about the same. Delta's Kingdom was what, like 10-1? That's a drastic difference between 10-1 and 50-1, and they finished about the same length behind.
About three lengths difference.
Yeah, it's about the same. So I will side with Mike there, even though I do like Greatest Honor. In terms of a wagering standpoint, is one horse 50 times is more likely to win a race? that's what that's the crazy thing. Aaron and I talk about like odds. That's what 50-1 means versus even money. One horse is 50 more times likely to win in that race. If someone said 50-1 on Papatoo versus 4-5 on Greatest Honor, I will continue to bet that 50-1 every time.
Papatoo is literally the second best horse out of the local prep for this race. 50-1. That's crazy. And the winner of that race, who won in what I consider not an impressive fashion, is 4-5.
And that's why this game is so interesting.
Okay, let me ask you one more.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Papa.
Go ahead. Let me ask you one more thing. If Greatest Honor was 3-1 or 4-1, would it change your minds? Would you bet him then?
I wouldn't bet him to win, but I would be much more interested in the horse.
Yeah.
I'm running to the windows.
Yeah, I'd bet him that. If he was 4-1, yeah, I'd bet him to win.
I think the 9's better. I think the 9's better.
Win the race.
Well,
I
don't
like
personally. I personally don't like the 10, and I think a fact a lot of people overlook is that last race was in the slop, and the horse that came in third is a sprinter. He didn't beat anybody. Spielberg did not beat anybody home there. That is a 2-turn horse.
Can I just make one quick point as they're getting in the gate? I think that question is incomplete because we don't know what the odds on the other horses are. I think that makes a drastic difference. Like if all the odds stayed the same, I'm running to the window.
Yeah.
What if for whatever reason there's another horse taking a lot of money and Collaborate's now 6-1? I might be running to the window on Collaborate. So I think
that's fair.
I think the question is a little bit incomplete, but it's a great question because it's a fair one.
All right, here
we are loading into the gate.
I'm not calling it, right?
No, we'll just kind of analyze it as we go here. Yeah. You did good though. I'm not firing you. I'm just saying we'll just analyze it as we go.
I live to see another day.
Here we go.
All right, let's get it. Oh God, let's just not get screwed. I have 6 horses in the pick 6. Let's just get one of them.
Oh, look at this. Soup and Sandwich out in front.
The one horse, Nova.
Good. Keep Soup and Sandwich. Just keep him in the clear. If he's in the clear, he's got a shot.
Spielberg, all kinds of trouble there. I'm sorry, let's collaborate.
Would be on the lead, and he's not. That's great.
To sit. Well, I'll tell you, Greatest Honor is getting a pace. Yeah. They're going.
23.
Where did Spielberg? Oh, there he is. He's right.
TVG graphics are really good.
Johnny's hustle.
Sandwich is on the lead, and they have Soup and Sandwich mid-pack on the graphics. Someone's doing a hell of a job.
So Soup and Sandwich on the lead. Collaborate sitting right there in second. Nova Rags now in second on the rail.
Who do we have?
Everybody's kind of within range. Greatest Honor starting to move up on the inside. Known Agenda is kind of making a move on the inside.
Yeah. He's going to have some room. That's 7.
Yeah.
It's going to open up, though. It'll open up.
Soup and Sandwich is starting to kick away from him.
It looks like it.
Johnny's still got a handful of
the one horse looks big.
Yeah, Johnny's still got a handful of reins on this 8.
Well, yeah,
here comes Greatest Honor.
Here comes Known Agenda.
Is Greatest Honor coming? He's got to get motoring.
Meanwhile, there's that 11 Papatoo, 50-1, just on the far out. Yeah, Greatest Honor.
Known Agenda may win this thing, boys.
7's going to have to go 4 wide.
7's not getting it done.
No. Can't catch him today, Greatest Honor.
7's
not good enough.
Got beat by 2, maybe 3 of the ship-ins.
A bunch.
Fletcher, Wickies. Soup and Sandwich second. Greatest Honor.
Didn't Slim drop that horse?
Yes.
Wow.
And Ryan and John picked him up.
I am. Soup and Sandwich did not run bad. I will take that effort.
Oh, yeah.
Good effort.
No, he did not.
Take that effort.
So
Fletcher got 2 horses today.
Yeah.
Fletcher had a good day.
Did you see that Slim had $20 on Known Agenda?
Just
He just texted us and said he had $20 on him, so he doesn't feel as bad about losing to Florida or dropping the Florida Derby winner.
There you go. Well, he's got his money.
You know why this game is really frustrating is in my heart, I knew the 7 wasn't that good of a horse, and I still didn't beat him. You know, I used the 8, but I didn't use the 5.
I used him. I had him on the Magic Mike show ticket.
I didn't like the 5 at all, but I'll take the 2nd with Soup and Sandwich. He ran good.
Oh, you did. You did.
He ran good.
My dad and I hit the pick 5 and pick 6.
Congrats.
Way to go,
That's
Papa
just
Very
Samo.
nice.
good.
What were the 5 prices?
Good for you.
$4 grand to the 5.
Congratulations.
Nice guy.
Papa Samo, man, he had the 7 in the
Don't you
first
just
place,
hate
and now
guys
he
that
has the
brag like that?
Oh, there you go. Hit the exacta cold. Good
That
job.
just pisses me off. Really.
Man. That
Guys, if it was easy, it wouldn't be near as fun.
yeah. It's
Jeff Ruby's still unofficial.
That's what brings us back.
Well, okay, so I think I want to. Where do you put greatest honor now? Now that we saw this, do you have any interest in the Derby?
none.
Oh,
No, I don't think so.
I actually don't want any of these
Could they have
horses.
held him back a little today?
I mean,
Could they have held him back a little because he was already in the Derby?
No, I
It's-
never
you think?
subscribed to that.
It's
I don't think
possible,
so either.
but it's a grade
I
1
don't either.
race. I doubt it.
For
I'm-
that kind of money
Yeah,
for grade
too much
1,
money. Too much.
Yeah.
I
I agree.
think the
I just
biggest
hear that sometimes.
I think the biggest thing that maybe came out of today is that Soup and Sandwich is technically in, and well, no. Besides that, though, he's a pace player now. Though there's no there was no pace player before that. Like really before this. So here's a horse now that
I think Bob
potentially.
Baffer would disagree, but yeah.
Well, you have Concert Tour, but nobody was like what Concert Tour in his last race. What went like 20 about the same opening fraction in a slower half mile, if I remember correctly. I'd have to look at that.
Mhm.
But he the winners of these preps have all been coming from off the pace. So now you have a horse that probably if he goes to the Derby, there's a horse you're probably going to put at least when you're handicapping is up on the lead. So that I think at least it gives the Derby a slight pace dynamic now, where before it was really kind of seeming like they were going to go 24, probably almost 49, and just probably Concert Tour goes walking around the track. Now he's got somebody at least to deal with.
I agree with that completely.
This was a pretty heavily pressed pace too. I think that for Soup and Sandwich to hang on in second, you had 3 horses lining up there, 4 horses into the first turn. It's not like there's a difference between a jogging 23-3 and what they did here. This was a pressed 23-3. There was pressure at every step of the way. So yeah, I agree with you. Soup and Sandwich kind of at least makes it a little more interesting up front.
Yeah, I don't think he has any chance to win, but at least he, if Concert Tour, I assume is most people's number 1, if not number 2 with essential quality now. At least there's a horse that you're going to be like, all right, well, he should be up pressing Concert Tour.
Yep. I'm actually interested in Known Agenda out of this race. I think this validates Known Agenda's last race. I was worried it was Lasix that made the difference. That last race was impressive, but I thought Lasix might have been the difference. This was without Lasix. He ran big. The biggest, and I know Ricky's going to hate me for saying this, it's the what did he beat question. If I before the race was saying Known Agenda is not going to get the job done, I can't give him credit for beating Known Agenda after the race. So there's part of that juxtaposition there. But I are beating Greatest Honor after the race. But I think Known Agenda is one of those horses that moving forward, you have to at least consider this horse in the Derby now.
I don't know. I thought this race was pretty bad. I just visually, I'll back up. I'll say this. He made a very good move on the turn. He definitely ranged up, did make a move on the turn. I kind of think they all kind of stopped past that, though. I don't want him in the Derby. I do want to give him credit for winning this race, though. what a turnaround, what a training job. I guess we got to really give credit to Todd Pletcher here. This was a horse that was nowhere to be found in the Tampa Bay Derby, and the Tampa Bay Derby came back pretty shit. Or no, I'm sorry, the Sam F. Davis, and the Sam F. Davis came back pretty bad on paper, and this horse just won the Florida Derby. So a good training job. I think it's a top 10 type horse. I don't think it's a top 5 type horse. Yeah, that's I like I said, I can't say I'm shocked, but yeah, I that's just out of the major contenders, that's the one that I didn't know about, and ran well. Got to give this horse a lot of credit. Yeah, soup and sandwich, man. I really thought that horse was going to hang on mid stretch, Vinny. That was
he looked good. He ran very good. I'm very. Nick texted me. He's pretty happy with the second. I wish he obviously he wishes he won, but
yep.
I'll take the second for his third career start. Like that was a good effort.
Well, yeah, I agree. What's amazing about Greatest Honor, he never looked like a winner last time out until he just flew by in the last few yards, and he never looked like a winner today. I mean, he just didn't. I never thought for 1 second he was going to win the race.
Yeah, he made that, like, he started making that move, but yeah, I mean, he just was not his day.
There, real quick, for all the Oaklawn people, the no double breeders just went off. Are all Arkansas bred. I don't know if anyone's watching, but just wanted to throw that out there.
Aaron, who did you pick? Or I guess, sorry, Aaron Ricky, because when you did the picks too. Who did you guys pick to win that? Because I handicapped it.
I thought Tempt Fate was just much better, and Tempt Fate is kind of taking away here.
Tempt Fate going to win it as we hold off Man in the Can. Tempt Fate on the rail. Yeah, pulling away. Easy win for Tempt Fate.
You know what I've learned, and I'm happy this came up. Papa Dude, you guys can speak on it. A lot of people say, well, these horses beat each other all the time. These types of Arkansas bred races always seem to be who's in the best form in that moment. And right now, it's Tempt Fate. Like in a month from now, 2 months from now, maybe it's not.
Yes.
But in this moment, it looks like Tempt Fate is the best. And now we've Aaron? I think 3 in a row.
Yep.
He's the best horse in Arkansas. Like Arkansas bred in Arkansas.
Oh, no doubt.
So
right now he is.
Yeah, you picked that horse on your article, Papa Dude.
Yes, I did.
Your article's doing good. I'm just trying to talk you up. So
we are alive.
That was a pretty easy one there.
Well, that's I think it's even, you know what, now thinking about it, maybe it's a round table discussion. Like these New York bred races, it's like the same kind of thing, right? It's kind of like who's the best in form. I saw Magic shake his head. Like Tempt Fate's now won 3 in a row. He's just in form right now. It easily could be Man in the Can if they were to run this 6 months from now. But it's kind of, I think a lot of people like, well, they beat each other. Not in the moment they haven't. And I think a lot of people, for me, it's one of the easiest angles. You just go by the horses that are in form in these types of races. So for me, I was singled to Tempt Fate. I thought that was fair. And I was short price, as Papa Dude alluded to. But
yeah. All right, guys. I've got to go. I've got the heart out. If you guys want to continue, that's fine. But if not, I'll wrap it up. It's up to you guys. Just give me the word.
I've got to kick off as well.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. All right. I always ask the same question.
Can I just say one?
Go ahead. Yep.
I just wanted to thank you guys again for letting me come on here. I'm out of my league, but I tell you what, I learn something every time. You guys are the best. So thanks a million, guys.
You bet. You bet, Papa Dude.
It's great having you on here, man. It's a blast.
Yep.
thanks.
He's
Right.
the guy who's
right, thank you, guys.
on the website giving out free picks, hit everything, and then he gave out the Villanova Baylor pick. So yeah, you're being too modest. You belong on here.
that one's in question, Magic. That one
Well,
is.
the Villa.
I'm glad I bet the first half.
Yeah, first half. There you go.
Well, to be
that
fair to
Baylor
Papa
game,
Dude,
Baylor is pulling away.
but to be fair to Papa Dude, he did not put Villanova on his article. He put Oregon State plus 7. That was never in doubt. So
Yeah.
That was never.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much.
yep, we'll see you.
Papa Dude.
Yep.
Okay. I guess he didn't want to answer my last question. So, who is your Kentucky Derby pick, and who is your long shot after this? We'll just go around the room here. Ricky, you go first.
I'm gonna go with Concert Tour. I that's who I like on top. But to Vinny's point, like this pace thing got a little bit more interesting for Concert Tour. I think Soup and Sandwich, at least to this point, can pose some pace because it was going to be probably really, really slow. So if like Soup and Sandwich at least can try to pose some speed threat. But I like Concert Tour. That would be my Kentucky Derby pick. Long shot, you threw it to me too fast. I don't really have one right now. Like I'm not going to just say one for the sake of saying one. You know what? I will because I like Woodbine so much. Helium, that would be my long shot. For no other reason than I just had him before. So I would say Helium is my long shot.
All right, so let's kick it to Magic.
I'm going to stay with who I've been saying for a long time. Essential Quality is still my pick. I saw someone ask, did the Spielberg dud affect my view? No, because that was Essential Quality's first start off of a layoff, and he wasn't 100% for that. So, no, not worried about it. And then long shot, I'm going to stick with Midnight Bourbon because if he gets a good draw in the Kentucky Derby gate, he's got the running style to just sit up there on the pace, and he's got the pedigree to keep going and going and going. So I don't think long shots are going to win the Kentucky Derby for a long time in the future. They haven't since I've been following the sport, but if you want one, that's my pick.
Samich?
I'm going to live in the moment. Favorites, Concert Tour. I've been saying that on the Magic Mike show for a minute now. I think that horse was ranked too low. I think that horse should be your top pick now. Actually, I had Life is Good, but Concert Tour was always second. Give me Sainthood is a long shot. That horse, after getting cut off, re-rallied, and it's a Windstar Farm horse. It's a Pletcher horse. Why not take a shot with my man Masha Wish?
No, it's Masha Wish.
It's whatever I want it to be, Ricky.
Munching Witch.
All right, let's go to Vinny. Let's get some sense back into this, Vinny. Give me your picks.
I'm still on Concert Tour, and I guess I don't know how much of a long shot he really would be at this point, but I would say Hot Rod Charlie.
Yep.
All right.
Exact same. Go ahead.
He's just like he was one on the lead. He's been able to close. He sat off the pace. He's just a horse that makes his own trip, and he probably isn't good enough to win the Derby. But I'd rather have a horse that makes his own trip than a horse that needs everything to go his way to win. Which the team's what Greatest Honor needs, and a few of the others. Like I like Proxy, but he can't figure things out. So I'd rather use Hot Rod Charlie at this point than Proxy or another closer that I like.
Hot Rod Charlie to me should be like 8-5 to hit the board and 30-1 to win.
Oh, yeah. Fighting words. Words.
He just seems like he just makes his own trip. I don't know if he's good enough. I don't know what he beat in Louisiana there, but I'd rather have a horse that has already shown he can come from the back if he gets shuffled, or if he breaks well, he can sit right near the front. I'd rather have a horse like that than a horse like Proxy, who I keep hoping is going to put the pieces together, and he gets in the stretch and forgets how to move.
Yeah,
here's what's gonna happen to Hot Rod Charlie. The same thing that happened to my boy Jack. People are going to lose their minds over this horse and go way too over the top, and you're not going to get the value that you should. And he's going to hit the board, or my boy Jack ran fourth, but he's going to be right there. But he ain't going to win, like Samich said.
Yeah, I agree with that. You think he's going to be this year's my boy Jack?
Well, yeah. There's the people love
Magic wants everyone to beat my boy Jack.
People kept playing this horse because they're like, oh yeah, I've got kids. It was the thing, like I got a kid named Jack. How many people got kids named Charlie?
Yeah, but to be fair to that point though, I don't think my boy Jack ever went off at over 10-1. Hot Rod Charlie was 90-1 in the Breeders' Cup.
Your quick little question.
94 to 1.
Let me say something real quick. My wife is pacing. We have to go. I hear her heels. Dump.
Sorry, Heather.
Right.
Is that what you're wearing to dinner?
No, I'm just.
That was my thought too.
You asshole.
I was like, Jesus, she better just leave now. Yeah. She'll find a better date there.
He's in heels. You got to change that shirt, my man.
I've had a hard day, and you guys are just making it harder, okay? And I don't like that. Listen.
Wear your Jim Boeheim suit.
All right.
Listen to the one non-married person here.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody, the Derby is a 3-horse race. Now with 2 weeks to go, and it can change. Concert Tour, Essential Quality, Hot Rod Charlie. I ain't seeing it from any of these other ones. Now, hit the board, sure. You can always say this horse will hit the board in the Derby. We see weird things. Win candidates, I don't know where they're at past these 3. And if you guys want to throw out Hot Rod Charlie, I don't see where they're at past these 2.
Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe prevalence if he runs off the screen in the wood. Like I don't know.
What is this? Shut up, Squeak. If you guys make fun of me 13 or 14 more times, I'm out of here.
Sounds like a quote from somewhere.
I don't know what
that's
that
a
means.
quote from basketball. Come on, guys.
All right. Mark,
That's a good one
culture.
to end on right there.
Come
I'm
on.
out.
Wrap
You guys, do you want me, guys? You guys want to keep going, or you want me to end it?
No, I gotta
end
go.
it.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a good night, guys.
Everybody, thank you for joining us. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you all for coming on the
Manscaped.com,
show.
code Magic Mike. Code Magic Mike, 20% off. Free
There you
shipping.
go. Mark F says basketball. We'll see you next
baby.
week. Bluegrass, Santa Anita Derby, Wood, Slim will be here. Papa Dude will be here. We'll all be here. We'll see you next week.